What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Wednesday? Halfway through the week, guys. Halfway through the week. I've been going through some stuff downstairs, and I just wanted to get in here, and I did find this down here. Boom! Land one more time. Boom! How bright is that? That's super bright. Land Before Time, guys. Found the Land Before Time. Going through the movies below, and just in case you guys don't believe me when I talk about the bona fides of dealing with this stuff that we talk about well before I became a YouTube content creator, I just wanted to show you guys a couple videos that I found from a Land Before Time. We have, this one's really bright. They Come to America. It's a story of how amnesty has cost America by Mayor Rudy Giuliani, Congressman Peter King. How old is this movie? It doesn't have a date on it. Oh no, we're going to have to look at that. I'm going to have to watch these. And then, what is this one? The Cost of Obama's Legacy. They Come to America 3. Oh yeah, guys. These I did not pay money for these. These were given to me when people were waking me up, telling me about how the immigrants are all super bad and stuff. And I also have books that at one point or another that we're going to have to share on screen that were given to my children also at one point. Because indoctrination, guys. Indoctrination, very important in the cult. But I weathered those storms. We got a lot to talk about today. Some pretty strange stuff going on in our country. Woo! Strange stuff. But don't forget to stay hydrated. You guys need to stay hydrated for this. We got a lot to talk about. But first, let's see where everybody's at. See who's in chat. Say hi to everybody, and let's kind of get moving because we got a lot to talk about. And every week, I have like 3 videos that I do not get to, and that's because I talk too damn much. Let's see who's in the chat today. Well, Mike took first, second, and third. That's just greedy. That's greedy. He took gold, silver, and bronze. What's up, Wogue Mike? What's up, Tammy? Hi, Tammy. How's it going? Nightbot, good job doing the work down there. Stan, what's up? Silent Siren. I still haven't watched the Clippy video. I need to watch the Clippy video. Driving. Do not text and drive, my friends. Gulf Marine, what's up? All the Psycho news fit to publish from Earth. I spend way too much time watching this stuff and reading this stuff, and I almost feel like a real YouTuber at this point. Because like you guys watching the videos, and you guys are commenting and liking and subscribing and stuff, making me feel like a real YouTube content creator up here, trying to keep the world from falling apart. Yeah, all the Psycho news will be happening today, and we'll be covering all this bullshit. Every week I get to Wednesday, and it feels good to get through the first part of my work week. But Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday streaming definitely is the largest part of my workload. I mean, I spend Friday, Sunday, and sometimes Monday as well editing videos. So it's a real heavy part of my work week. But it's always nice to get halfway through the week. But we got a lot to look at as far as the crazy-ass Psycho news that keeps going. Read AG's live stream. I don't know what that means. Compulsory weapons check. Wait for stream to begin. Let's see who else is here. 5 Alarm Fire. Hope you're feeling better. I know you weren't feeling great the other day. Hope everything's going good for you. Also, 5 Alarm, just so you know, somebody came through my channel and dropped a comment that was from the Jolly Ginger, and you guys know the Jolly Good Ginger is good dude, awesome dude, out there doing the work and being on the ground and going to these events and such, protests, and that feels pretty good. I'm glad to see you guys out there doing your thing, and I think that it's great that we have representatives like the Jolly Good Ginger out there, doing the work. And 5 Alarm, I just have to say thank you, because he said, the guy who came over from Jolly Good Ginger's chat said thank you so much to 5 Alarm Fire for super chatting and shouting out the Angry Ginger, and he liked the content that he saw and has subscribed to my channel. So thank you so much. And also, I heard the Jolly Good Ginger also said thank you for me sharing some of his content. So thank you so much, 5 Alarm, for going over there and spreading the good word. I appreciate you. Let's see, who else is in here? Yes, The Land Before Time is a good movie. Thank you. Dana Johnson, Tree Stars. We all know about Tree Stars, those of us that grew up during that time. Kelly Anderson, yes, good movie. I'm going to make my kids watch it again. I'm sure we watched it not too long ago, but yeah. You guys got a hurricane coming through there pretty soon in Florida. You stay safe out there. I don't know what you guys do during hurricanes. I've never been in a hurricane, but whatever you're supposed to do during a hurricane, you guys should do that, okay? We've got, let's see, who else is in here? Doncron, what's up, Doncron? Talia, what's happening? Mighty Mouse, good to see you. Let's see, you're washing your dog, Talia? Good luck with that. I mean, dogs aren't as bad as cats. Washing cats, very difficult to wash a cat. Progressively Independent, good to see you. Verm over there on Twitch, thank you for being over there on Twitch. I appreciate you. Chat as much as you want. I need more chatters on Twitch and more subscribers on Twitch. 25,000 over on YouTube, and I think I'm up to like 98 over there on Twitch. We're working hard on Twitch for our 98 viewers. Let's see. Golf, you are riddling. Good job. Your cortisone comment got deleted, Kelly. YouTube has some funny rules. I also post comments on my own channel and get my own comments deleted on YouTube. It's a very strange thing to be happy. You'd think whatever I comment, I'm generally not being that big of an a-hole, but apparently I get a little bit of an issue with that. So, I know how you feel. Let's see. Look at you making ginger buddies. That's what we're here for. The whole reason we're here. We're not even here to save America. We're here just so the Angry Ginger can link up with other gingers so that way our powers can be combined. That's what I'm here for. Let's see. Must be the way you described it. Probably. All right. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. We got a lot to get to, so, we're going to jump down here. What's the purpose of this stream, Verm? The purpose of this stream is for me to be angry and be a ginger and just talk about things that are going on in the news. I am a content creator that if you're wanting to put me in some type of political party, you probably would say I'm closest to like the values of maybe a democratic socialist. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's a democratic socialist that's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. But I do believe in working through social safety nets and stuff for the impoverished. And I grew up on social safety nets, so I am a person that can speak very well to their efficacy. I don't know. Ask the other people. They'll tell you what the fuck this stream's about. I don't know. Yes, thank you, 5 Alarm, for bringing the gingers, bringing the gingers to the yard. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, 5 Alarm. I always do. So, what we got going on today? What do we got going on today? We have, guys, to start with, ICE hitting a new low as agents put a disabled child in handcuffs because of mistaken identity. That never happens. Never happens, guys. These guys are professional. They got Dean Cain out there, guys. All right? Very, very professional, the ICE. We've got the Trump administration seizing editorial power over Smithsonian Museum exhibits after, obviously the Smithsonian came out and said, no. Just so you guys know, we didn't remove that stuff about Trump because Trump told us to. We totally did it under our own goodwill. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about Ghislaine Maxwell's potential of getting work release. We live in such a strange world. We've got an anonymous video from Bucky Kid. Thank you so much, Bucky Kid, for sharing this. About the Big Balls incident, which I think is a rather sus incident, being a person who grew up in a place where people got carjacked. We're gonna have some things to say about this whole incident that is claimed to have happened with Big Balls, who should be demoted to little or mediocre balls after apparently getting beat up by 15-year-olds. We've got a Chris Norland video talking about Trump and Obama. He got a little upset. Trump got a little upset over being compared to Obama's height, I think it was. His height and his looks, apparently, because Trump gets triggered by every little thing that gets said. That's not in any way supportive of him being the greatest president of all time. We've also got a Zoran Mamdani video talking about Cuomo. Cuomo apparently has been putting forth some rather exaggerated tells about Mamdani and what he plans to do in New York City, and this is Zoran's response to that. We've got Piers Morgan fighting with Dean Cain. I saw this and I was like, we gotta watch this shit. Oh, thank you, Dean Baker. Thank you for the 99 cents. Twice, 2 times. Thank you for 99 cents. Thank you so much, Dean. I appreciate that. Let's see. We also got James Tallarico getting cut off by Fox News by being based. They don't like Democrats being based over there on Fox News. And James Tallarico, who recently, Joe Rogan even said this guy should be president. Even Joe Rogan gets one right every once in a while. We've got Kyle Kalinske talking about the IHIP ladies who recently went on, I think it was like CNN or MSNBC, and talked, and Fox News trying to smear my wonderful queens over there on IHIP. Love those 2 ladies, and I wish there were more people like them. And if we get to it, we got some Trump supporter FAFO. That's kind of the docket for today. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, as usual. We'll see how much we get to and how much I just sit here and rant and talk about things. We'll see what happens. Yeah, 5 alarm. Shirt off with smeared blood was sus as fuck. Exactly. I heard he thinks he's giving him an award or something. Kelly, he wants... People have said that he should get the Medal of Freedom, which is the... I guess it's the equivalent. I don't think it's the equivalent, but the civilian idea of like the Medal of Honor. I don't know why a dude would get that, but we'll talk about that in a minute. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to that. Dean, I understand and I appreciate your 99 cents. We're all poor in this America. We're all poor, my friend. I appreciate anything you guys do for me. I always appreciate that. You guys know that. Jeremy, what's up? What's going on, Jeremy? Yeah, I had it, ladies, calling out triple Trumpers only eating at Cracker Barrel. I told, dude, I think we watched that video where she said, why don't you go to fuck to Cracker Barrel? And I was losing my shit. Absolutely amazing. I love the IHIP ladies. They're my favorite. They are my favorite. Yeah, so, you know, a lot to get to. Rush Limbaugh was given it by Trump. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, my God, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a weird world. Donald Trump, I heard, wants to give himself, and I didn't see the honorees today at the John F. Kennedy. I believe he did the honorees today. But Donald Trump, in his meandering way, he rambles and says word salad and weaves his way through dementia. Apparently said that he thinks that he should have gotten an honoree a long time ago and that maybe he would just give one to himself. I'm not going to count any of this out. I used to a long time ago be like, we need to, like, you know, look at what he's saying in context to make sure, you know, you don't need to exaggerate the stupid shit that Trump says. Generally, you can just watch the whole clip and there's enough there to make of it what we will. But nowadays, you practically can just read the headlines and be like, yeah, that's probably what happened. So I'm going to guess Trump did 100% say that he was going to give himself the honoree at John F. Kennedy's memorial, what is it, library or Center for the Arts or whatever it is. Pickleballs! Let's call him Pickleballs. Dean, I think we're going to have to stay that one. We're going to steal it. We're going to steal that one. Pinkerbell, what's going on, Pinkerbell? Good to see you. Good to see you, Pinkerbell. Did I see Laura Loomer testify that MTG put Arby's in her pants? I don't want to believe that any of this is true. Why is that true? Like, The Onion has such a hard job nowadays. The Onion has such a hard job nowadays. I feel for them over there. They're getting their job taken from them. You just can't make up shit that doesn't sound like it's real nowadays. Rush Limbaugh, rest in piss. That's where I'm at with that one, Dean Baker. I hope him and Hulk Hogan are fucking playing Chinese finger puzzle games down in hell right now, but with their little tiny cocks instead. $10. Thank you, 5 Alarm Fire. $10. Rosa Parks was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Let that sink in, fam. That honor is now worthless. It sucks. Because at one point, look, there is plenty to complain about as far as our government goes. There's plenty to complain about the history and the embarrassment of some of the things that America has done in its past, both domestically and foreign. But, you know, this whole administration has just put all of that to shame. Just put all of that to shame. Somebody like Rosa Parks receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom meant something. It meant something. And then it just gets diminished when you see people that, like, haven't done anything. Like Rush Limbaugh, he should get the Presidential Medal of fucking degenerating society down to this fucking place that we're at today. Like, if he gets a medal, Jerry Springer, WWE, Vince McMahon, I guess you give those guys all one, too, because everybody contributed to where we are today. The fucking creators of 4chan, also. It truly is. It's sad. You know, we're trying so hard to make fucking efforts to progress in this society and kind of be like, look, yeah, we did slavery. That was bad. You know, yeah, you know, women couldn't vote. That was bad. You know, like, we were making fucking progress, moving forward. And now Donald Trump is just taking us fucking back. And we're gone. God. What's up, Kat? She just got the meats. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, 2/3 of the Onion headlines are barely exaggerations nowadays. Exactly, Pinkerbell. It's kind, like I said, I would like to get back to a place where when I read a headline that sounds crazy, that I have to actually, like, look into it and be like, are you sure that happened? And like, there was a time where you clicked a headline and you got about 3-4 sentences in and you recognized that it was clickbait, right? Like, and now it's like you're 3-4 sentences in and you're like, you could have actually made a worse headline. That's actually pretty tame. Oh, man. Now you just need to be a former Fox commentator. 5 Alarm. Here in California, you've got people that are deciding between Katie Porter, who's absolutely fucking amazing, who will be getting my vote for governor in the state of California, or former Fox News guy. Former Fox News guy. It's a fucking disease. I just saw today that polio is making its rounds around the world again. I can't help but say that there is some connection between the stupidity that has infected this country and the fact that polio is making its way around 6 countries right now. There's definitely some correlation, and I'm pretty sure there's some causation as well. Tragic Mammal. What's happening, Tragic Mammal? Thank you for being over there on Twitch, too. Yeah, you used to think it was The Onion? You used to always, like, you'd be rolling through and you'd be like, no, that's not true. And you'd be like, oh, okay. Woo! It's satire, right? You guys remember that time 8 months ago? Maybe it was like 12 or 14 months ago when you, like, people would share stories and you'd be like, that's clearly satire. And you'd scroll through the story. You'd be like, okay, where's the part where it says this is satire? I haven't seen one of those. I haven't seen a time now where somebody shares a story and I'm like, that's clearly satire. And then I look it up and I'm like, that's satire. Now it's like, nope, that's just fucking actually what's going on in this country right now. It's mind-blowing, dude. I was thinking about this today. You know, the whole owning the libs thing. You know, because I get those comments on my videos where it's like, we really don't even give a shit what Trump does. Just like what it comes down to is we own the libs and whatever he does from this point on, we don't care whether or not his policies work. We don't care whether or not he burns this country aground. We're just happy to make you guys cry. And I was like, you know what they did? They won the stupid people. And that's really actually what the fight in politics has been forever, right? And I mean, at least here on this channel, and as many other channels right now are also doing, you know, we're working to try to get to a point where the Democratic candidates, the liberals, the leftists, the progressives that we want in office aren't just people that are going to say they're going to do stuff, but, you know, people that we want to see doing the things that we've asked them to do for decades now. And that's why I like Mom Donnie, right? But if you think about the game that has been being played in politics for so long, it hasn't been to get the educated voters to vote left or right, right? Because most of those people had already decided. If you were a conservative, you know, a decade ago, it was like you wanted, you know, smaller government, you wanted less taxes, you wanted less regulations and red tape. And if you're on the left, you wanted, you know, more social safety nets for impoverished people. You wanted to see, you know, women being treated equally. You wanted less discrimination. You wanted to see, you know, the potential of something like UBI and upward movement for middle class people. But where politics has devolved to now is literally who can get the dumbest people in our society to get off their ass, come to the fucking the polls or to the election offices and to vote for one or the other. And to be honest, Donald Trump won that. So when you have these people that are like, oh, we won and we don't care. Well, the only thing we care about is making liberals cry. I'm like, so what you're literally saying is you were one of those stupid people and Donald Trump got you. That is not something you should really be shouting from the rooftops. And I do mean that as a pun, as the leader of the country of the United States of America was literally shouting shit off a rooftop the other day. And then his son shared a meme of him throwing a dildo from the rooftop because that's literally where we're at. And that would have been an Onion article a year ago or 2 years ago. President throws green dildo off of White House roof while yelling at reporters. But now it's just memes that the president's son makes. It is. It's like, it isn't fucking, you shouldn't be proud of the reason that you voted was to make liberals sad. It should literally be because you thought a policy was good or that this leader embodied values that were going to help the country become a better country for all the people in it. He got the stupidest people off the fucking couch to come and vote for him through fear, hate, anger, vitriol, and they're so fucking proud to tell you that's why they did it. The movie behind me isn't a comedy anymore. I don't think Idiocracy even does this justice anymore, to be fucking honest with you. I don't think Idiocracy does what we're in now justice. Idiocracy pales in comparison to the reality of what we're going through. Like, it wasn't dumb enough. Like, it needed more, like, violent fascism. It needed to give more authoritarianism. But, I mean, we're only 7 months in. Yeah, you know, I watch The Righteous Gemstones. I don't know if you guys watch The Righteous Gemstones. So real quick, I'll give you a little synopsis. Righteous Gemstones really is about commentary on televangelism, right? Joel Osteen's of the world, Kenneth Copeland's of the world. And it's a really funny show. Walter Goggins' character, Baby Billy, is fucking amazing, super funny. But there's times where you're watching The Righteous Gemstones and it's making a joke about how people get grifted off of, how, you know, religious people give all their money, even though they're poor, to these mega churches, and these pastors are driving Rolls Royces. But sometimes it's not funny. Like, the show itself is fucking amazing, and it is really funny. But there are times where it's meant to be funny, and it's just fucking sad. And that's how I feel right now with Idiocracy. It's like, it's not even funny anymore. It's just sad that that's where we're at. Speaking of the IHIP ladies, they were talking. Jen was talking to Kyle Kalinske, and she was talking about Pumps, who Pumps used to be very religious. She's from a religious background. And she told a story where she said Jen was young, and she grew up in the Bible Belt, and all these people were constantly trying to save her soul and telling her she was going to go to hell. And so as a teenager, she wanted to rebel against her atheist parents and wanted to go to church with this family to see what it was all about. And she said she was in the car on the way to church with this family, and with the lady's daughter, and the lady says, "Hey, take $5 and go put it on this pump." And she said there was a $20 bill sitting in the center console, and she reached for that $20 bill, and the daughter that was with her was like, no, not the 20, that's for the church. And then they counted out in change $5 for gas, and she was like, this family was so poor, and yet they went to church, and the pastor literally pulls up in this nice white Rolls Royce. And this poor family that Jen's family would like help the daughter of out when it came to, like, you know, sports and, you know, doing things with school and stuff by helping out with money. They're giving their $20 to the pastor who has a Rolls Royce. And it's just like, that just embodies MAGA and the televangelist religious grift like so much. It's so fucking sad, and I watch The Righteous Gemstones, and I laugh a lot, but there's just certain parts that are supposed to be funny, and I don't laugh because I'm like, but it's too on point. It's fucking sad to see. It's sad to see. What's happening, mountain bike fan? What's going on? Paula White. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's not talk about Paula White. All right, we better get to this shit, or I'm just never going to get to it. I can sit up here and rant forever. You guys know that. We have 3 hours of me just ranting. All right. So let's start with the news today. ICE hits a new low as agents put a disabled child in handcuffs because of mistaken identity. We're just going to start with the video here. And then we'll read the actual article as well. Oh, this is definitely not it. That is Washington murder suspect believed to be in SoCal. You guys should, if you're in SoCal, careful. Careful. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll just start with the actual article. A 15-year-old disabled student was subjected to a traumatic encounter with armed federal immigration officers outside Arleta High School in Los Angeles in a case of mistaken identity. The incident, which happened around 9:30 a.m. on Monday as a teenager attended a high school orientation with his grandmother, has sparked widespread outrage as parents and school authorities have expressed their concern over the treatment of innocent children by ICE. Just that statement by its fucking self! Why are they outside of a high school orientation? Like, they're children trying to go to school to get orientated so that way they can become a productive member of this society, and fucking ICE is hanging out waiting to arrest them, and apparently, if you're a disabled kid, you're not safe. All right, here's the video here. Let's watch this video. Oh, apparently that was the video.
Agents raid Arleta High School this morning, taking a 15-year-old boy with special needs into custody at gunpoint, only to realize it was a mistake. The raid has prompted officials.
Where's Dean Cain at? That's all I got to ask you guys. Where's Dean Cain at?
With the LA Unified School District to announce new measures to ensure students can travel to and from campus safely.
Carlos Salcedo is live in Arleta with the latest on the raid and reaction from parents. And
I still have to say, like, I don't understand how news reporters can fucking do these stories with straight faces. I would be like fucking face palming this entire time.
Other students. Carlos?
Michael Sherry, good evening. This immigration enforcement operation happened on the sidewalk right outside the high school. Students were here for orientation when they see a handful of Border Patrol agents. The armed agents even dropped bullets here on the ground. And tonight, as you can imagine,
He said what? He said the armed agents dropped bullets on the ground. You know that they're not that they're asking everybody to join up. They're willing to bring on 18-year-old kids to ICE to join up to deport people. At 18 years old, you do not have a fully functioning frontal lobe. And they are going to be making decisions. Look, these people are grown-ass fucking adults. And they can't get the right people. Like, this is the fucking insanity of Donald Trump. This is the buffoonery. This is how dumb this fucking administration is. You're not getting rid of criminals. You're not. What fucking mass murderer gang member is going to a high school orientation? Riddle me this, Batman. Why are you arresting people at court hearings to get their immigration status, verified so that way they can become citizens? Those aren't fucking MS-13 members. Like, even if you want to be best faith possible and be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, if somebody's MS-13 and they are attacking people and they are robbing people and they are committing heinous crimes against American citizens, that you think that those people should be deported, which I do, by the way. I think they should get due process. But hey, I'm with you. If you give me a MS-13 guy that has hurt people, that has robbed people, that is here illegally doing, like, just messed up stuff to the citizenry, get them the fuck out. I don't mind. Just due process. Give them their day in court first, and then get them out of here. But I'm going to tell you one place you're not going to fucking find one of these people. It's not going to be at a high school orientation, guys. Jesus Christ. Dropping bullets. They're fucking buffoons.
and parents and school.
5 alarm fire. $5 says, drop bullets. South Park fucking nailed ICE recruiting to a T. Thank you for the $5 and fucking exactly.
District officials are calling the actions unacceptable and careless. This is video of Border Patrol agents surrounding a vehicle outside Arleta High School Monday morning. Agents are seen detaining a 15-year-old student with disabilities as his grandma was inside the car while a relative was registering for classes at the school. The teen, who goes to nearby San Fernando High, was later released on the grounds of mistaken identity.
I was very upset because our kids shouldn't have to be going through this and being scared of coming to school, you know, or their parents dropping them off.
Soon after.
This lady's actually, like, so calm. She's so calm, because let me tell you this right now. If that was my kid, that was my nephew, my niece, my grandkid, or my child, dude, I would be like, right now, you guys are fucking up. You guys are morons. Every one of these ICE fucks with their masks on, we're going to remember who you are after this is all over, and I hope to fucking God every single one of you goes on trial, because you know what? Even for you dipshits, I believe you should get due process. But you should definitely, every fucking one of you, go on trial for fucking kidnapping people. There are reports now of women being assaulted by men wearing masks and posing as ICE agents. No one saw that coming. It's the dumbest administration that has ever fucking existed.
After parents like Yvonne received this voice message from the principal informing them of the incident.
We are aware of reports of immigration enforcement activity in the area.
Many parents we spoke with call the presence of federal agents near public school campuses shameful.
The government, our administration had stated that they were going to go after criminals. At a school, what criminals are you going to find? Kids.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Trying to enroll.
That is disturbing. It is heartbreaking. It is reprehensible.
LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho addressed the matter during a back-to-school press conference with other school and city leaders.
This young man was placed in handcuffs, presumably based on mistaken identity.
Ahead of the start of the school year, the district had...
Good call, bud, because you're saying presumably because you know just like I do that most likely it wasn't mistaken identity. It was a dude with brown skin, and they're like, I don't know. Fucking grab him. Look, here's the thing about this, too. As the parent of an autistic child, like I think it was probably like a year ago, 2 years ago, I made a video about a police officer that had shot a autistic kid that went to, I believe his mom had taken him to a hospital, and he was having a mental breakdown. And this officer at the time was called because the kid was having a mental breakdown, and I think he had shoved his mother and had yelled at hospital staff and had made his way outside of the hospital. And the police officer, when he showed up, said that the kid was very aggressive, and he shot him. Our police officers are not and have not ever been equipped to deal with people with disabilities. And we know that. Police officers in America, in the United States of America, have somewhere between 3 to 6 months of training. That's it. I think it's like Norway or Sweden. They have to go to school for like 3 years. Take courses in criminology before they ever get to become a police officer. Here in America, they have 3 to 6 months. They have absolutely no training. The bar of entry is incredibly low. And you're going to have ICE that has even less experience, and we're going to go ahead and hire on 18-year-old kids, and we're going to have them put in the same situation that a grown-ass man shot an autistic person. This is the fucking buffoonery. This is how dumb this administration is.
Has been in touch with 10,000 families potentially impacted by immigration enforcement efforts. They've rerouted bus stops, deployed 1,000 central office staff to assist in school zones, and have virtual options available for those too scared to leave their homes.
And we are gathered here today to talk about protecting our children from the federal government. That is a profound moment.
While the district promises there are safety measures in place, some parents fear that their children will be a target simply because of the color of their skin, regardless of immigration status.
He fits that category, where he's like a little bit on the darker side, and I feel like that's who they're attacking.
A little bit on the darker side. Who would have thought we'd be fucking uttering these words in 2025? He was a little bit on the darker side, and that's who they're attacking. Is this fucking 1925? Jesus Christ.
Now, we reached out to the Department of Homeland Security multiple times regarding this case of mistaken identity. We never heard back. LAUSD goes back in session this Thursday.
You don't say. You never heard back. Fuck ICE. Fuck racist fucking pieces of shit. Like, this is insanity. It's insanity. Let's see. The superintendent said while he has been released, experience will have lasting effects. The trauma will not fade. It is unacceptable. Jesus Christ. The student who attends San Fernando High School had accompanied his grandmother to Arleta High to help a relative register for classes and was waiting in their car when approached by agents who handcuffed and detained him at gunpoint. The ordeal only ended after school staff and Los Angeles police intervened to secure his release. Despite claims from federal officers that they are not with the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, video reviewed by district officials reportedly showed both police and Border Patrol personnel at the scene. In a testament to the distress and confusion of the moment, bullets were reportedly left on the sidewalk by agents and later collected by school police. LAUSD board member Kelly Goins condemned the incident in no uncertain terms. Such actions, violently detaining a child just outside a public school, are absolutely reprehensible and should have no place in our country. I denounce these violent aggressions and the continued unconstitutional targeting of our Latino community. The event has led many families questioning the safety of their children as they believe that regardless of their actual immigration status, the kids might be subject to harassment based on the color of their skin. Jesus Christ.
This is video of Border Patrol agents surrounding a vehicle outside Arleta High School Monday morning.
Yeah, it's just more of the same there. Jesus Christ. It just doesn't make any fucking sense, man. Like, what are we doing? I don't... What are we doing? What are we doing? And then you got a bunch of people that are tweeting about it. ICE arrests high school student at drop-off for orientation with guns and drawn and live ammunition. 15-year-old boy with special needs. Finally released after agents admitted they had the wrong guy. Jesus Christ. As a direct response, LAUSD is expanding so-called safe zones and deploying 1,000 central office staff to assist in school zones. The district has rerouted bus stops and increased online options for families unwilling to send children to school due to safety concerns. Outreach efforts have included contacting 10,000 families who may be impacted by immigration actions. These steps come amid a tense climate of immigration enforcement under the Trump administration, which is operated by newly enacted policies that expand ICE authority, set daily arrest quotas, and increase funding for enforcement. Such policies have naturally invoked fear in many legal residing immigrants, with even U.S. citizens mistakenly targeted in raids. Like, how are we here? How is this a thing? This is the people that are like, I voted to make the liberals cry. This is what you voted for. And this is why when people are like, oh, you know, you're just kind of like, when you call these people morons, you're just creating a bigger divide. It's just not the nicest thing you could say about these people. Fuck these people, man. Fuck these people. If you think what is going on in this country is entertaining to see a 15-year-old child, a disabled child, and that shouldn't even have to be said, just 15-year-old child being put in handcuffs, arrested and detained, mistakenly or not. If you think that that's entertainment, go fuck yourself. That's where I'm at with that. All right. What else do we got? The fucking news is out of control. Out of control. All right. So this other one we got here. We got the Trump administration seizes editorial power over Smithsonian Museum exhibits. So specifically, I want to watch this one or read this one because people have been saying, you know, like, hey, they removed the exhibit, Trump's impeachment from the impeachment exhibit. And the Smithsonian hit back with, we didn't remove it because Trump told us to. We removed it because there was, you know, a need to change it. It was too large. It was blocking other things in the exhibit. And, you know, on the surface that, hey, okay, all right. That's what museums, you know, need to have exhibits that people can see. That is understandable. They then changed the language to make it a little softer language about Donald Trump's impeachment. And then they added it back in. But as we all know, Donald Trump is trying to rewrite history. Donald Trump doesn't want to have his name anywhere near the word impeach, regardless of the fact that he was impeached twice during his first term, and probably, most likely, if the House turns blue and the Senate turns blue, he will be impeached for fucking real this time. And we can all just hope that that happens and we can finally move on to potentially fixing all the garbage that this administration has participated in. But it's a long road ahead because even with Trump impeached, we're still seeing other morons that may be slightly slightly better at this than who he is. But anyways, this article goes on to state, top officials in President Donald Trump's administration are carrying out a massive review of the Smithsonian Institution's museum exhibits, curatorial materials, and other operations in advance of the country's 250th anniversary next year. In other words, what they're saying there is they want to make sure that all the exhibits don't offend dear leader. The review is meant to better align the vast institution, which encompasses 21 museums, 21 libraries, and a zoo, with Trump's views. I can tell you this thing that I think that they should include is some of these people that support him should be in said zoo. Just going to throw that one out there. I hope somebody picks that up and runs with it, to be fucking honest with you. Specifically, those he outlined in a March executive order titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. Okay, he's not talking about, getting rid of all the bullshit in our high schools that glosses over the fucking annihilation of Native American communities. He's not talking about the glossing over of the horrific slavery period. He's not talking about any of that. What he's talking about when he says that, what he's talking about is making sure that Donald Trump is seen as being the greatest president that has ever lived. That's what he's talking about. That order explicitly calls for the Smithsonian Institution to be analyzed. A Tuesday letter addressed to Smithsonian Institution Secretary Lonnie Bunch outlined the administration's expectations. This initiative aims to ensure alignment with the president's directive to celebrate American exceptionalism, remove divisive or partisan narratives, and restore confidence in our shared cultural institutions. Do you think he's going to remove anything about Obama? Do you think he's going to remove anything critical of Clinton? I guarantee you Clinton's impeachment will still be there. Fuck, even Nixon is not getting a pass on this. The only person that Donald Trump gives two shits about is Donald fucking Trump. He's not going to even change Nixon's impeachment. I guarantee you the only person's name that is getting taken out of that exhibit is Donald Trump's. They might throw in some Obama shit, the Russia hoax. The Russia hoax. Have no doubt, this is literally rewriting history. This is 1984 shit. This is 1984 shit. And here we go. The letter bears the signatures of Lindsay Halligan, Vince Haley, and Russ Vought. Of Project 2025 fame, Russ Vought also shares a name with the company in The Boys. That's the bad guy, because apparently we live in a fucking simulation. Who serve as Senior Staff Secretary, Director of the Domestic Policy Council, and Director of the Office Management and Budget, respectively. The officials say their goal is not to interfere with the day-to-day operations of curators or staff. However, they demand a huge array of materials be provided for their review. It's Nazi Germany shit! The materials include public-facing exhibition text, wall didactics, website content, social media posts, and plans for future exhibitions. The officials want to interview curators and senior staff to better understand the selection process, exhibition approval workflows, and any frameworks currently guiding exhibition content. They wish to see educational materials available to teachers, grant applications and funding agreements, surveys taken from visitors, and the entire collection of permanent holdings. So pretty much what they're saying is they want anything and everything, educational or otherwise, to pass through Russell Vought's hands. The guy who fucking made Project 2025. If you're just trying to be, you're like, hey guys, let's not overreact. Let's not call everybody Nazis. Let's maybe they're just trying to, make sure everything's fair. I show to you the evidence of the first 7 months of Trump's administration. They're not trying to make everything fair. They are rewriting history. And they now want to be in control of what educational materials are passed on to show whether or not Donald Trump's name was in them or not. This is just like the Epstein files. They are going to redact his name from everything in history that he has done bad because it is divisive. It's fucking insane. What's happening, Swift? What's going on? Within 120 days, the Smithsonian is expected to begin implementing a content correction. So over the next 4 months, keep up with the story. Officials will target 8 museums first before expanding to phase 2, which is not described. Hopefully, like the Epstein files, there is actually no phase 2. The museums include the National Museum of American History, the National Museum of Natural History, the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Ooh, good luck with that one. That one's gone. That one's gone. For anybody that's African American that voted for Trump, this is what you voted for. The National Museum of the American Indian. Anybody that's an American Indian that voted for Trump, you voted for this shit. Remember this. The National Air and Space Museum. Goodbye, space. I guess Trump does have Space Force, so maybe space makes it. At least we get something. The Smithsonian American Art Museum, the National Portrait Gallery, and the Hirshhorn Museum and Sculpture Garden. I'm sure Trump is triggered by anything that says garden. I'm sure he will pave right over that bitch and put up some tables with some fucking Mar-a-Lago umbrellas to make it seem more like home for him. The Smithsonian's work is grounded in a deep commitment to scholarly excellence, rigorous research, and the accurate, factual presentation of history, the institution said in a statement to HuffPost. Not anymore. That was the before time. That was the before time. You are now doing Trump history. We are reviewing the letter with this commitment in mind and will continue to collaborate constructively with the White House, Congress, and our governing board of regents. Bullshit, if you will. You will do what they tell you, or else they'll just fire you. Just like they just fired the fucking Bureau of Labor Statistics lady because she told the fucking truth and was replaced by a guy who was like, you know what? I don't think we should even have a jobs report. That's real shit. Nothing I'm saying is wrong. Fucking go look it up. Just last week, the museum sparked outrage when it emerged that it had changed descriptions of Trump's 2 impeachments as part of an exhibit in the American History Museum. New text alongside the exhibit downplays Trump's role in inciting the January 6, 2021 raid on the Capitol and the fact that his claims about the legitimacy of the 2020 election were false. Once again, they said they didn't do this because Trump told them to do it. They said, it just felt like we weren't being fair. Just have no doubt. Have no doubt. This is the rewriting of history. This is Nazi Germany shit, guys. It's Nazi Germany stuff. You don't just rewrite history and then be like, well, yeah, because like people were unfair, so we wanted to just like change it so that way I look better. That's fucking 1984. The guy's job in 1984 was to sit there and take headlines that came through and to change them, to make them Big Brother style. It's fucking 1984 Nazi Germany shit. Speaking of. What's happening, AJ? Thanks for being here, AJ. Cancel culture! Exactly, Dark Cash. It's actual. Everything they blame the other side for. Everything they blame the other side for, right? All right. So, it's just like the stupidity of this country is just driving me up a wall because it's just like endless fucking stories of our own stupidity. Like I said, we were moving in the right direction. We had a long way to go. But we were moving in the correct direction. And Donald Trump is rolling us back to fucking like 1929-ish. Ish. All right. So next we've got Ghislaine Maxwell. I said the name right that time. I'm not going to keep saying her name right. It's Ghislaine. She is Ghislaine for life, and I don't care. I'm tired of seeing people in my comments saying, her name isn't Ghislaine. Pronounce it right. Her name is Ghislaine. Her name is Ghislaine, and it's Ghislaine for life. You want to know why? Because pedos don't get fucking special treatment. I'm not going to put any respect on her name, okay? Her name is Ghislaine. For anybody out there that's like, you need to pronounce her name correct. No, I don't. She's a pedo. She did bad shit to children. I will mock her mercilessly for the rest of the time that she gets to be alive until Donald Trump decides that maybe she shouldn't be, okay? Going to continue to mock this lady. She doesn't deserve any respect on her name, period. If your name is Ghislaine, okay, I'm sorry. for your loss, but she's Ghislaine, so it's not the same. It's not the same. She's different than y'all, okay? Don't take offense. So, apparently, a podcaster did some research into the level of her crimes and where she's supposed to be as far as what her perks are supposed to be while in prison, and found that she now qualifies for a work release program. This is not saying that she has been on a work release program, but having been moved to this prison that is not a prison, it is literally in the middle of a community next to, I think Michael last week was saying, Texas A&M, that people actually from this prison go into Texas A&M and work with the students there. It is in the middle of a city where children literally walk past a chain link fence and wave at the inmates. We now have a human trafficker that has access to children. I don't know how this gets any more fucking dumb. How does it get any more dumb? Like, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that because they're like, hold my beer. Anyways, this article is called Ghislaine Maxwell's Lawyer Addresses Bombshell Work Release Report. The lawyer for Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell has denied claims she is able to leave her minimum security facility to attend work assignments. The report that Maxwell, who is serving 20 years in prison for conspiring with the late pedo to traffic and abuse children, has been granted work release privileges in defiance of federal rules for sex offenders, was made by Allison Gill, host of the Mueller, She Wrote political podcast. Another day, another false rumor about Ghislaine meant to unnecessarily inflame folks, Maxwell's attorney, David Oscar Marcus, posted on X. Another false rumor. What do you mean by another false rumor? What rumors exactly are being spread about Ghislaine? That she trafficked children? No, that was proved in a court of law. She's doing 20 years because of that shit. By the way, under Trump's administration. What rumors? That she's going to be pardoned? Because it sure as fuck looks like that's what she's working for. What rumors? That she capitulated and told Todd Blanc that she had never seen Donald Trump ever do anything bad the entire time that she knew him? That rumor? The one that's going to help her get a pardon? What fucking rumors are you talking about? Writing in her blog, Gill claims she had obtained Maxwell's security score, custody level, and transfer code at the federal prison camp in Bryan, Texas, where she was transferred from a stricter federal prison in Florida after speaking to Todd Blanc and saying Donald Trump didn't do anything. Donald Trump's former criminal defense lawyer and current deputy attorney general. Fucking nuts. What stands out here is the custody level out, which allows her to leave the minimum security campus for work assignments, much like Jeffrey Epstein was allowed to leave prison as part of the sweetheart deal he got from Alex Acosta that was penned by Alan Dershowitz. By the way, two people in the Trump administration. Trump's lawyer and Trump's, secretary, I forgot what he was secretary of. But Alex Acosta was a guy who worked in Trump's administration that gave Epstein a sweetheart deal in his original conviction back in 2007. Gill added that she did not have confirmation Maxwell had worked outside the Texas facility, but suggested that if this were the case, she could once again be receiving perks not offered to other sex offenders. It was previously reported that the Federal Bureau of Prisons waived its policy that sex offenders must be detained in at least a low-level security prison to facilitate Maxwell's transfer to be the more relaxed minimum security federal prison camp in Texas. Gill defended her reporting after being rebuked by Maxwell's attorney. I have not reported that Maxwell has left the facility on work assignments, but if Marcus would like to go on the record and assure the residents of Bryan that she will not leave the facility as the waiver apparently grants, I'm certain they and Maxwell survivors who have been left out of this process at every step would be relieved to hear it. I'd also like to ask Mr. Marcus who authorized the waiver. Exactly. Like, she's not even saying that she has worked on this work permit. She's saying she has the ability to. The very chance that she has the ability to be on a work release program is fucking insane. This is not something any person should be okay with. Not a Trump supporter, not a progressive, not an establishment Democrat, not a conservative. Like, no one should be okay with Ghislaine having even the option of being able to be in a work release program. No one should be okay with the fact that she was sent to a prison that is minimum security where she can literally wave at children walking down a street. One of these children that lives near this prison across the street, by the way, across the street from the prison, said they oftentimes bump really good music. This is the prison that she's at. The prison she is at right now is like living next to a set of apartments where college kids live. They're bumping some sick-ass fucking Aaliyah. The newest Eminem album. That's not a prison. MSNBC reporter Ken Delanian said Maxwell received the required waiver to be moved to the Texas prison, adding that a source who works with the BOP had never seen this done before for a sex offender. The claims arrive amid ongoing speculation that Trump is considering offering a pardon to Maxwell in exchange for her testimony in the hopes that it could ease anger and speculation surrounding his administration's backpedaling on his vow to release the so-called Epstein files. Let's just go ahead and translate that. Donald Trump is scared to release the Epstein files because most likely, 100%, allegedly, all the words that I'm supposed to use right now is definitely all over those files. And he is scared. And he is running scared. Because he knows he is insecure. He is fearful that his ass will go down in history as being the president that was found to be in the fucking Epstein files. That's what that means. Not every rule is apparently being bent in Maxwell's favor, according to NBC. The British socialite is barred from participating in an inmate program to train puppies as service dogs at the Texas facility because of her child sex crime conviction. Marcus and the BOP did not immediately respond to requests for further comment from the Daily Beast. No way. Don't worry, guys. It's all good, guys. It's all good. She can't fucking train the puppies, bro. Like, what are you libs crying about? What are you crying about, libs? She doesn't get to play with the puppies. It's fucking insane. You know who shouldn't be allowed around puppies? Christy, no. I hope you guys watched that South Park episode. That shit was fucking hilarious. She like shoots every fucking dog she sees. As a person that loves animals, keep the puppies safe, guys. Keep Maxwell away from the puppies. Keep Kristi Noem away from the puppies. Keep Donald Trump away from the puppies. You notice that every president has a dog. Donald Trump doesn't. I think that goes back to the meme that used to go around that said, I don't trust people that animals don't trust. I don't trust Donald Trump. Dogs don't like Donald Trump. There's a reason. Because they can smell the Epstein files all over his orange face. All right? They can smell them. They're like, I don't like your pedo ass. All right? It's fucking insane. Secretary of Labor. Thank you, Mighty Mouse. Labor. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for saying that. Jesus Christ. We had somebody nearly shoot us while at juvie. Juvenile hall that was in this one area I was in. My dad literally was in an apartment complex right next to the juvenile hall. Like, he'd sit outside and smoke cigarettes and talk to the juvenile hall kids. Let me just say this. As a person that did not grow up with my father and now knows my father pretty well, I'm going to tell you guys, probably not the best person for kids in juvenile hall to be associating with. Not a great thing. Who needs a dog when you have Netanyahu, DJ? Damn. That's a burn. We need a burn one. I'm just saying, guys. This is fucking insane. It's insane. All right. Let's see what else we got here. We got a lot to get to. I wanted to talk about this with you guys. So, you guys know this big ball shit. And I'm going to tell you this. When the news story first came out saying that Big Balls there's an attempted carjacking and he was beat up and there's pictures of him bloody and shirtless and and it said he had pushed a significant other into a car, and there was a group of 8 to 10 gang members that had attacked him to try to carjack him. Immediately a red flag went off for me. Because I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up around people that mugged, carjacked people. I grew up on the very street that was the prostitution street for this road. The hotels that I lived in and around were burnt down twice because of meth labs. I know a little something about gang activity. And I remember, or if you remember, when we talked about Kilmar Garcia, I said, he's not MS-13. And he's definitely not an MS-13 gang leader. And I can tell you that because I grew up around Mexican gangs. And I'm going to once again tell you how suspect it is that people are saying that these kids were carjacking him. Because my understanding with carjacking, and we're not going to go into what type of experience or life experience I have with this, but is when someone whoops your ass and they're going to carjack you, they don't just then not carjack you. They don't just like, we beat the shit out of this guy. Now let's go, guys. They generally, if they're trying to carjack you and they beat the shit out of you, give you a concussion, break your nose, they then take your car. That's generally how that goes. And if this is even real, because I don't even believe that this is real. I do think this is, as many people have said, this is fire at the Reichstag, right? I don't believe this is real. But if this is real, first of all, this was at in a very wealthy part of DC. The median income for people that live in this part of DC is like $120,000 per person. This is not, you're not down in the horrible parts of DC. Coming from where I come from, I can tell you this. The East Side Crips didn't go hang out and walk down the street in the nice parts of the city I grew up in. Because the cops generally patrolled those neighborhoods and made sure they were safe. And if they saw you and knew you, because gang members are easily fucking identifiable, this wouldn't be a place that they would be. But what was said was Big Balls said, they approached me and my significant other, and they made a comment about stealing my car. And I pushed my significant other into the car, and then I defended her honor. First of all, if you're trying to fight 8 to 10 dudes, you're a fucking moron, okay? If 8 to 10 dudes were approaching me and my wife on the fucking street, and I did not have a sidearm on me at that time, we both be getting in that car and driving the fuck away. But the most likely case, even if it is real, and I am seriously doubting that this is real, if it is real, that happened was somebody made a joke about taking that car. Maybe it's a nice car. I'm going to guess Big Balls has plenty of money that he's stolen from the American people during his time with Doge. That they made a joke about stealing his car. And then he got, big ballsy. And then he got his ass whooped. Look, coming from a man who has been soccer kicked in the fucking face. A dude who has been in fights that has been punched, kicked, bitten, clawed, been jumped before. Once when I was in middle school, I got jumped by 3 or 4 dudes, and I got thrown into a fucking sink. My head bounced off the sink. I still got up and fought. I can tell you that if this is what happened to this dude and it was real, this wouldn't be the story. It's in the wrong place. I've seen the pictures of the people that they claimed were gang members. They are not gang members. And if they were going to carjack you, dog, they would have taken your fucking car. This is fucking, you want to talk psyop? This is a psyop. Oh, thank you. 5 alarm fire. AG having to mod between... Oh, Jesus, what am I doing here? Sorry. Thank you for the $5, 5 alarm fire. AG having to mod between 2 live streams. I got you both going at the same time, though. Thank you, 5 alarm. I appreciate you so much. How the fuck are 10 dudes going to fit in your car? Exactly, DJ. These people didn't grow up with fucking gangs. I'm tired of hearing people talk about gang activity that have no fucking idea what gang activity actually looks like. Like, all of these people watch fucking Boys in the Hood. It's like you watch Boys in the Hood, and you still don't know what the fuck gang activity I mean, I know a lot of these people never watch Menace to Society. Boys in the Hood, to be honest with you, is like it's the non-spicy version of the Hood. Okay, Boys in the Hood is like the fucking white people no spice version of. If you want to know some hood shit, you watch Menace to Society. That's the movie that made the rounds. Or you watch Blood In, Blood Out. Those are the movies you should be watching. You want to know what it's like to be down there? Watch that shit. Depends on which gangs you want to be talking about. Anyways, so we got a video. I'm not just ranting for no reason, guys. We got a video that Bucket Kid had shared, and this is apparently an anonymous video. I don't know if Anonymous is still active. I don't know if this is actually anonymous or if this is somebody claiming to be anonymous. But this is a video that probes the Big Balls incident. Stage chaos or Trump's masterstroke. And I want to watch this. I haven't watched it, and I want to see what they bring to light. I want to see how close our opinions on this subject are. So let's watch this video.
We are anonymous. You may know us as the faceless, voiceless collective that thrives in the shadows, peeling back layers of lies and deception, shining a harsh light where others are too afraid or too compromised to look. We don't take sides with politicians.
I want to see them files, Anonymous. I want to see them files.
And today, the truth hides beneath a strange, almost absurd sequence of events the media has branded the Big Balls in.
This is seriously the fucking dumbest timeline of all time. The Big Balls incident.
I love the poorly educated.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like that long ago.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Guys, we heard that shit, and we thought that was as bad as it was going to get, guys. We thought that was peak absurdity. We thought that was as stupid as it was going to get. And now we got Pickleballs, the incident. Jesus Christ.
The question isn't just whether it happened the way they say it did. The real question was the chaos orchestrated?
Chaos,
and if it was,
even.
Who benefits
Fucking
from it?
Chaos.
And why does it all seem to lead directly to Donald Trump's next big move? Let's rewind and start with the man at the center of this story, Edward Korestein. If you've followed certain political fringes online...
Look, I'm just going to be honest. That's a punchable face. I'm just saying. Like, look, if that brother right there, if you're walking past and that dude right there fucking jaws at you, that dude drops something, he like says like, you know, like your shirt or something, like that's go time, because you know you win in that fight. This dude can't fight. If there were 10 people fighting this one dude, I guarantee you he would not have been just like bloody. Like I said, there were no lacerations. I want to see his face today. They said he had a broken nose. I want to see those black eyes. I want to see, like, this is like some Donald Trump shot in the ear bullshit all over again, isn't it? That's what this is, isn't it?
You might know him better by his nickname, Big Balls.
They're like, maybe we should have you get shot again, sir, because this Epstein files it's getting out of control. We need to do something to distract people. Maybe we have somebody try to shoot at you again. How's that feel? And he's like, you know, it feels like maybe, how about Big Balls? How about Big Balls gets beat up? Maybe they fucking hated this guy. Maybe Donald Trump secretly despised Pickleballs and was like, how about we just have Pickleballs get beat up? I think that'd be great. That's what I'm going with.
19 years old, formerly attached to Elon Musk's experimental department of government efficiency, DOGE for short, a so-called wunderkind, who despite his age had already held short-term roles in agencies like USAID.
Bro, fuck off. Why does he have a fucking resume now that includes working at USAID? This shit is so dumb.
The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, TSA, and had even been assigned to projects like gold cards.
Jesus Christ.
His latest posting, working for the Social Security Administration on their website.
God.
Yes, from flashy Musk experiments to the mundane bureaucratic trenches. On the surface, his resume looks like a curious...
Probably got beat up over that hairdo. That's all I'm saying.
Mix of stunt appointments and digital busy work. but his proximity to figures like
there's like fucking 6,000 fucking, what are you guys, Gen Zs? There's a bunch of Gen Zs right now like, shut the fuck up, that's a nice haircut. sorry.
Musk, and by extension to political insiders loyal to Trump, positioned him in an interesting space, a space where chaos could be turned into currency. Now here's where the story takes its turn. According to police reports out of Washington, D.C., in the early hours of the morning around 3.
Yeah, Talia, that's another thing, is the first story that came out was that he had intervened. This is why I can't fucking deal with this shit. Exactly, Talia. Is the first story was that Big Balls had seen a woman being accosted and stepped in and got his ass whooped, so saving her. Which was a really weird story because I was like, hold on. There's 10 people accosting one single female, and they beat the shit out of this guy, but then they turned back to the girl and were like, anyways, we fucked this dude up, so now we're going to leave. And I was like, that seems sus. And I'm guessing that somebody in the Trump administration was like, nope, there's some holes in that story. By the administration that brought you the Epstein files, which has like 19,000 holes in it and 75 different stories. Like, they literally just flood the zone. They just say a bunch of dumb shit, and whatever sticks that MAGA picks up and will circulate, like that's what they're putting down. That they're like, that one's good, all right, fanfic.
Yesterday at AM, Corstein was allegedly attacked in DuPont Circle by a group of about 10.
Yeah, DuPont Circle, by the way, very wealthy part of Washington. Like I said, $120,000 median income for individuals in DuPont Circle. This is not where savage gang members hang out.
And teenagers. The narrative says he was attempting to stop a carjacking, stepping in heroically to protect someone in danger. 2 suspects, both aged 15, were
Why are you getting beat up by 15-year-olds also?
arrested shortly afterward. And conveniently, an iPhone 16 worth about $1,000 was reported stolen.
Oh, you don't say. That's why they're trying to convict him on some type of felony, right? Because that's over the dollar amount for that changes it from like, what is it, from like simple assault to like armed robbery or some shit. Not armed robbery. What is it? Assault with the intent to rob? I can't remember. But it changes it into a much worse felony.
The official police line paints Corstein as an unexpected good Samaritan blindsided by urban violence. But what happened next?
By black people, guys. They're black people.
Oh, look at my African American over here. Look at him. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black. Obama.
Just saying. That's going to be the story next. The next story is going to be like Barack Obama and Michelle Obama were walking down the street and they started yelling racist slurs at a white woman getting in her car, and Pickleball stepped in to stop Obama from carjacking because he's black, okay? Because that's what those guys do. Because, you know, Barack Obama attacked the woman and Big Ball stepped in. That's the next story.
It was far more revealing than the attack itself. Photos started circulating online, graphic images of Corstein shirtless, blood smeared across his face and torso.
Bruh, that is not a beating. That's a bloody nose. That's a bloody nose at best. You're not marked up enough.
The shots were taken by a friend, Marco Elez, who just happened to be there to capture.
Wait. The racist kid? The fucking racist kid that got fucking fired? The racist kid that got fired just happened to be there on site to take pictures. What the fuck was he doing? Was he yelling racial slurs at the black kids? Holy shit, this is sus.
The aftermath. And these weren't photos hidden in private chats. They were broadcast to the world, posted by none other than Donald Trump on his own social media platform, Truth Social. The former, and now once again president, used those bloody images.
Dude, this shit is sus as fuck.
As a prop to call for harsher laws, urging that juvenile suspects be tried as adults. A clear political statement wrapped around a violent urban crime story. And then Elon Musk weighed in on X.
You know what I think of you know what I think of pickleballs?
Yeah, you effin' with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word. P-word is female genitalia.
Yeah, that's what I think.
He claimed that a group of about a dozen youths attempted to assault a woman in her car, and Coristine jumped in to save her, sustaining a traumatic brain injury in the
Oh shit, traumatic brain injury
process, but saving her life. Hero narrative.
Watching all this Trump shit has given me a traumatic brain injury.
Ready-made, conveniently tidy, no shades of gray. Just an innocent man defending a woman and a city too dangerous for
a white man.
White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up.
For its own good. Here's where Anonymous raises its first red flag. Where's the surveillance footage? This is DuPont Circle. Washington, D.C. is riddled with cameras.
Yeah, look at that. Look at all those gang members, guys. Can you guys see all the gang members carjacking people?
You can hardly step outside without being picked up by a dozen lenses. Yet somehow there is no public video of this alleged assault. We have still photos after the fact. We have a narrative that's been repeated by Trump and Musk. But we don't have raw, verifiable evidence of the moment itself. That's not impossible, but it's unlikely.
Yeah.
Now let's look at the timing. Within hours of the story hitting the public, Trump issued an order sending additional federal law enforcement into D.C., framing it as a necessary response to a supposed
yeah, that's sus, dog.
Spike in violent crime. But the data doesn't support that claim violent crime in the district is actually at a 30-year low. And that's the second red flag. The reality on the ground doesn't match the urgency of the federal action. Unless the real urgency...
No, this is like, fuck, dude. For how long have I been like... God damn it. I've been like, don't over-exaggerate things. Like... Make sure that when somebody's doing something that is racist, is called out as being actually racist, not just fucking somebody being a douchebag or making some kind of dumb, edgy joke. This shit is like fucking the Tulsa shit. This is like fucking god damn. God, I'm fucking up the kid's name, the young black kid that got fucking murdered because Emmett Till. This is Emmett Till shit. This is like literally just a fucking repeat of white fright. It's fucking white fright.
Agency isn't about crime at all, but about political theater. Consider how Trump thrives politically. He works best when there's a crisis, real or manufactured.
For anybody that doesn't know what white fright was, it was the people would... they would pay, they'd pay black Americans to drive through neighborhoods, loudly playing music, black women to push like strollers through the neighborhood and stuff like that to cause white people to be scared that black people were integrating into their society. You can read all about it in Just Action, actually. The book by Leah Rothstein actually talks about it.
Factured. That allows him to step into the role of law and order savior. The Big Balls story is tailor-made for this persona. It's visceral. It's visual. It has a sympathetic protagonist linked to Trump's own orbit. And it's easily framed, too, as an indictment of liberals.
Yeah, because you couldn't just have this be like some random dude, right? I mean, I guess... No. It comes on the tail... of the assault that actually was an assault in Cincinnati. The crazy thing about that was like I was like, dude, I've seen people like my third day of high school. I watched a dude stomp another dude until he fucking drooled on himself. I'm like, I get that that's not acceptable in society. I understand why that causes people to react in the way that they do. But this idea that all of a sudden people are beating each other up in this society and it's black on white violence. Like, dude, black people have been beating up black people. White people have been beating up white people. Black people have been beating up white people. White people have been beating up black people. This is not new to anybody that has actually had real life experiences. I'm sure that when you see shit like that on TV or in videos, that it triggers you to think like, oh my God, the society is falling apart. But actually, it's kind of the status quo. We've been doing this for a very long time. It seems pretty fucking sus that you just had that thing happen in Cincinnati, in which people very much made it a racial thing of the black people beating up the Russian woman, right? She was Russian. And then just so happens that then somebody that these people have kind of like brought into their orbit and made like almost a cult figure within the Trump administration, he gets beat up all of a sudden. I call bullshit.
City
I call
mismanagement and soft on crime policies. Anonymous suspects that whether or not the attack happened exactly as described, it was quickly repurposed or even staged to serve a political goal.
Yeah, you could even say that potentially he got his ass whooped. But you're going to 100% be like, dude, they're using this as an opportunity.
In this case, the goal might be twofold: to justify a heavy-handed federal presence in D.C. and to reignite Trump's broader law and order narrative heading into whatever his next big move is. The reaction from Fox News only reinforces this. Their coverage leaned heavily into martyrdom imagery, turning Corristine into a symbol of conservative victimhood, a young patriot beaten down in the liberal heart of the Capitol. It's the kind of framing that stirs outrage among the base and builds emotional momentum for whatever policy push comes next. But here's where the story splinters into even stranger territory. Parallel to the big balls spectacle, Trump's allies in media are promoting voices like Pete Hegseth, who, in a separate but thematically linked controversy, posted a CNN interview with Pastor Doug Wilson. Wilson is not shy about his views opposing women's suffrage, supporting the criminalization of gay sex, defending certain aspects of slavery, and openly advocating for a future.
AJ says Barack Obama called in the adolescent youth criminal gang of the 13 and 14-year-old children to beat up big balls. Dude, that's the next narrative, dude. That's the next one.
Christian theocracy. Hegseth shared this without condemnation, implicitly endorsing it. And when asked for comment, a Pentagon spokesperson confirmed that
Panic. Have you ever been around people that carjack people? Have you ever been around any of that element? Because I have. That's not how that works, my friend. That's not how that works. If you are getting carjacked and then you get your ass beat, you get your car taken. That's not how a carjacking works. Like, y'all didn't grow up around fucking gangs and it shows. Like, I grew up in this shit. Everything about this story is super fucking sus. Just like everything about the Kilmar Garcia fucking story is super sus. Dog. People don't just beat you up and then leave you after trying to carjack you. They steal your car. It was his significant other panic. Literally, he said it was his girlfriend. So was it his girlfriend's car? Where they were like, yeah, you know what, dude? We were going to take your girlfriend's car, but now that we kicked your ass, we're just moving on. Oh no, panic. Oh no, you lived on South Harvey. Oh no, dog. Oh no. No, you're retarded. Bro, you wouldn't survive fucking 10 minutes where I grew up.
In his role as defense secretary, very much appreciates Wilson's writings and teachings. Why mention this in the same breath as the Big Balls incident? Because it paints a picture of the ideological ecosystem we're dealing with. This isn't just about one street-level assault. It's about the kind of America these players are trying to create.
Fake.
An America governed by fear, dominated by a narrow religious vision, and policed with authoritarian fervor.
100%. It's
the
Project
chaos
25
on the
shit.
street becomes the justification for the crackdown. And the crackdown becomes the tool for reshaping the country. And there's more. In the background of...
I bet you think Kilmar Garcia is an MS-13 gang leader too, huh? Oh no, are you not playing? Oh no. I've got a gift for you in my nightstand. 2 of them.
All this domestic theater is an international subplot, reports that Vladimir Putin is set to visit Alaska for a summit with Trump on August 15th. No other Western leader has hosted Putin since the war in Ukraine began. The symbolism is staggering. A pariah leader welcomed onto U.S. soil, potentially to negotiate the handover of parts of Ukraine. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton has already called this a great victory for Putin and compared it to the disastrous optics of inviting the Taliban to Camp David.
Dude is the dumbest president that has ever lived.
I mean, you were in the room in 2018 in Helsinki when this happened. What do you make of the fact that Putin has now been invited to Alaska?
Well, it's very gracious of Putin to come to former Russian America for this summit. This is not quite as bad as...
Dude, Donald Trump's about to trade Alaska to Putin. He's gonna sell Alaska to Putin.
Trump inviting the Taliban to Camp David to talk about the peace negotiations in Afghanistan, but it certainly reminds one of that. The only better place for Putin than Alaska would be if the...
No, Alan, he grew up on South Harvey, dog. Like, you better watch out. You better watch out. A guy that has a YouTube handle called Panic Studio, he's rough and tumble, dog. He's been carjacked twice, guy. He's not soft, bro.
Summit were being held in Moscow. So the initial setup, I think, is a great victory for Putin. He's a rogue leader of a pariah state.
He does like big balls.
Be welcomed into the United States. Second, I have a feeling this is sliding very quickly in Russia's direction.
When you step back and connect the dots, a pattern emerges. Domestically, you manufacture, or at least amplify, chaos. You use it to justify federal muscle, to stoke cultural fear, to present yourself as the only solution.
100%.
Internationally, you cozy up to a foreign strongman in ways that undermine existing alliances and
now Trump wants to go to Leningrad, remember? Trump wants to go to Leningrad.
Shift the balance of power. Together, these moves strengthen an authoritarian narrative and weaken democratic norms. So where does Anonymous stand? We're not here to tell you what to believe about whether Big Balls was genuinely attacked, whether it was staged, or whether the truth lies somewhere in between. We are here to tell you that the speed, the coordination, and the political mileage extracted from this event are too precise to ignore. We are here to remind you that powerful people have always understood the value of spectacle, and that in politics, nothing goes to waste. You have to ask yourself, why was there a photographer on hand to capture just the right images? Why did the story immediately get national coverage through Trump's own channels and Musk's social media megaphone? Why was there such a swift federal response to a single street crime in a city where crime is statistically down? Why does the narrative fit so neatly into Trump's political needs? If you think these are just coincidences, history will prove you naive. If you recognize the signs of manipulation, then you know what comes
you believe this
next.
Shit, you
more
stupid.
Fear, more control, more erosion of freedoms dressed up as public safety.
White fright shit,
Anonymous
100%.
believes sunlight is the best disinfectant. That's why we're speaking on this while corporate media either won't touch it or will only skim the surface. They'll give you the sanitized version. We'll give you the raw edges, the parts that don't fit the inconsistencies they hope you won't notice. If you see what we see, if you understand how critical it is to question these narratives, then act. Share this message. Talk to people. Shine a light where they want shadows. The only way to defeat orchestrated chaos is with organized truth. The choice is yours.
So I don't know if that's actually, I mean, I don't know if that's actually going to be an anonymous video. They've only got like 8K subscribers on that. I don't know if that is or not. I'd have to look at like the account or whatever. But to be honest, it seems fucking sus. Everything about it seems orchestrated. It doesn't seem real. If the kid got his ass kicked, then the kid got his ass kicked. It doesn't have to be that the kid got his ass kicked and, all of this was set up. He could have got his ass kicked. But they definitely are using this as a reason to put forth the policies they want. They want an authoritarian government. They want to be able to send federal troops into New York, into Chicago, into Los Angeles. They won't send them down to Compton. They know better than to do that. They don't want that media. They don't want to see cops going down into Compton and fucking getting into warfare with fucking the gangs down there. Those people don't play. Those people have more guns than the police do. There's a reason that they leave those areas alone. Just fucking end of the day, dude probably got his ass whooped, and then they saw the chance to use it for their own political reasoning. There's probably no fucking carjacking. There's probably nothing more than big balls attempting to talk shit to a couple people on the street, and then he got worked by two 15-year-olds, and instead of just accepting that he got an ass whooping, he got up and posted that shit on social media and created more white fright. 100%. 100%. You're in fucking one of the nicest parts. You're in one of the nicest parts. So fucking, yeah, sure. Sure, there's a bunch of gangs wandering the streets in one of the nicest parts. Good luck with that shit. I ain't falling for that shit. I'm good. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Let's watch Mom Donnie. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but obviously Cuomo, who everybody at this point has realized is now working with Donald Trump, is now attempting to pull the Eric Adams. He's trying to, buy the mayoralship to get himself back into fucking politics because he's gone because of all of the shit that he did. And so Mom Donnie put out this ad, which I want to share with you guys because Mom Donnie is fucking based and actually is a person who probably is going to do things for his state, for his city, that are actually going to make a difference, and that scares the shit out of people. Scares the shit out of people on the left that have have approved or supported people like Cuomo, people like Hakeem Jeffries, people like Chuck Schumer, and they're afraid he's going to do something. He's going to make them all look bad. And then, of course, the conservatives on the other side of the aisle are afraid that people are going to actually see people's lives improve and that they can't just keep sucking off the teat of the middle class, destroying any type of upward movement for people in this country. And they're not going to be able to keep you in the fucking factories building Elon Musk friends. Like, that's where we're at. So, this is a video by Mom Donnie. And I'll just let it play, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
4 years ago, Andrew Cuomo resigned in disgrace, and you probably know why.
The governor's office kept the nursing home death data secret.
Cuomo aggressively groped an aide.
Inappropriately touched a female state trooper.
Use of state resources for a COVID-19 memoir.
Less well known is what he spent the last 4 years doing, besides getting trounced in the Democratic primary.
Damn.
In 2022, Cuomo started Innovation Strategies LLC to represent individuals and corporations in a variety of matters. Definitely not vague. Last year, it raked in more than $500,000. Who paid for Cuomo's services? He refuses to say. But what journalists have been able to piece together is troubling. In April, Bloomberg revealed that Cuomo advised a cryptocurrency exchange based in the Seychelles as it faced federal investigations. Then in May, Politico reported that Cuomo failed to disclose $2.6 million in stock options to the New York City Conflicts of Interest Board.
No way!
His excuse? The stocks were technically owned by Innovation Strategies LLC, of which he's the sole proprietor. Finally, in June, the New York Times uncovered that Cuomo had worked with his longtime friend Andrew Farkas on a luxury marina project in Puerto Rico. Farkas' previous partner on luxury marinas in the Caribbean?
No way.
Epstein.
We had a finance chair like none other, Andrew Farkas.
That's the thing about Andrew Cuomo. Once you think you found out about all of his scandals, you find out about another, and then another, and then probably another. But if my friend, the disgraced former governor of the state of New York, feels that's unfair, Habibi, release your client list.
Release the files, dog.
These 100%
Yeah, I mean, look, Cuomo is just more of the fucking status quo. And if the left wants to move forward and actually do something for people, not just talk about it, but actually put forth real policy that makes a difference in people's lives, you're going to have to do things like he's talking about. You're talking about rent freezes because billionaires, millionaires aren't leaving New York. The people that are leaving New York are working class people that can't afford to be there. And this is one of those things when it comes to socialistic policies that actually benefit everybody in the country. It's that when people can't get to work, when people don't want to have children in a city because those cities do not have the ability for them to continue to support that family, people don't want to live there. So you don't have the workforce necessary to run the corporations that you own. You should be wanting people to have free transportation to and from work. You should be wanting people to have health care so that way they can show up and be able to work. You know, if someone gets injured or has a family member that gets sick and that person ends up having something like cancer and they lose everything they have and they have to move out of your state because they can't afford the rent, then you are losing workers. This is the insanity that surrounds the idea of conservative ideology, and also just the insanity that also surrounds the establishment Democrat ideology. And that is, they don't want to take big chunks out of the elephant. They want to eat very small portions of the elephant a little bit at a time because they're afraid that conservatives will push back on them and they'll start calling them names and they'll criticize them and they'll make them look bad. If Mom Donnie gets into office and the things that he believes don't work, then we'll see that. If Mom Donnie gets into office and the things that he believes do work, then we'll see that. But we're not going to know that by putting Cuomo back in. And Cuomo doesn't represent anything but more corporate interests. One day, people are going to recognize that it's never been left versus right. It's never been black versus white. It's never been LGBT versus heterosexual people. It's always been the middle class and below versus the ultra wealthy. And it's going to continue to be that until the wealth gap gets to such a large amount, like that it's so disproportionate that impoverished people are completely disenfranchised from society, and middle class people and upper middle class people become the stone that can no longer be squeezed, and there is no more blood to give. And at that point, people might fucking wake up and recognize, oh, you know what? Guys like Cuomo, they never were for me in the first place. And guys like Donald Trump never gave two shits about the middle class. The only thing that people like that care about when it comes to the middle class is whether or not they can fucking wring you out until there is nothing left in your pockets and then dispose of you, not give you health care, and hope that you go away quietly and die in some hole that they don't have to pay for. So I'm all for Mom Donnie. I'm all for Mom Donnie. We'll see what happens. Like I say, because we're going to see what happens. We're gonna see what goes through, because I think Mom Donnie's going to win. And then we are going to get to see whether or not the things that he does work. And if they do work, then the left is going to have to admit that they were wrong and that they should have been supporting Mom Donnie this entire time. And the right, well, the right will just go on lying and rewriting history just like they are now, making up reality, faking that the shit that they actually believe is working when it obviously is not. They're going to give you your $600 stimulus check because they're like, this is how easy it is to buy these people off. Just give them $600 and they shut the fuck up, because they're not real smart people. Let's just be honest.
I love the poorly educated.
Let's watch something funny. I've just been up here ranting. I've been up here ranting and telling fucking Panic at the Disco that he ain't hard. Let's watch something funny. So we can laugh at these people too. It's kind of amazing. All right. So what we got here is we got a video from, I think it's Pondering Politics. It's Piers Morgan goes on, it's Dean Cain, I want to say, goes on Piers Morgan, and I think even Tim from the Bulwark is also on this as well. So let's watch this video, and I'll talk to you guys a bit about it.
I think that most Americans I've talked to are unanimous that they have no problem with undocumented people in the United States being deported if they commit a crime. Okay, so we can all agree on those things. But where I have a big problem...
I don't agree with if they commit a crime. If somebody is here and they are undocumented and they are working and trying to have a better life, and they have an ability to show that if the crime that they commit is like a fucking misdemeanor, or if it's something like fucking petty theft, which is a misdemeanor, I have zero fucking problem with that person not being deported. Obviously, what he should be saying here is that people that commit violent crimes, people that do things that harm people in this country, whether they're here illegal or legally, still deserve due process, still deserve to be treated as human beings. And then if it's determined that that person is a detriment to this country, then that person then can be talked about being deported. But at this point, right now, we're not doing that. We are literally snatching people off the street by people in masks, jumping out of vans. We saw the fucking article that we read earlier today where they detained an American citizen that is 15 years old and disabled. They handcuffed him and they took him in to wherever they're detaining these people when nobody knows. That shouldn't be happening in America. And anybody that's stupid enough to say that that's the links that we have to go to deport criminals from this country is a fucking moron. Period.
With the further strategy of ICE, this just seems something so un-American about ICE going into places like Home Depot and grabbing people who may have been in the country for 10 years, who may have been contributing their taxes through gainful employment.
They fucking caught that lady at the border returning to the country that's lived here for 23 years, worked the entire time, has a family, and they deported her. They have quotas. Every day they're supposed to deport a certain amount of time because this isn't about making America safe. This is about Donald Trump trying to cement a legacy where he says, I'm the greatest president of the world, greatest president this country has ever had. I'm the most important person that's ever existed. I'm the smartest man alive. No one will ever be better than Donald Trump. And the reality is, if you look at political politicians and where they rank Donald Trump, he's actually one of the worst. He's like 42nd out of 45th during his first term. 42nd out of 45. Franklin Pierce. They thought Franklin Pierce, who in my opinion is one of the worst presidents that has ever existed, Franklin Pierce was ranked higher than Donald Trump. That's all this is about.
Home Depot and grabbing people who may have been in the country for 10 years, who may have been contributing their taxes through gainful employment, contributing to society, maybe have kids that have been born in the United States. Grabbing those people and throwing them out of the country seems to be quite un-American to me for the reasons Tim articulated. And most of the polling I've seen suggests that at least 2/3, maybe more.
Yeah. Anybody with a fully functioning frontal lobe agrees that this is fucking ridiculous. Even people that are on the right, that are conservative, that wanted to see people being deported, were like, well, this might be a little fucking much. You know why? Because they're smart enough to recognize that they could be next.
More of Americans agree that they think that's a step too far. How do you feel about that? I mean, are you comfortable with Home Depot being raided by ICE and people like that who've not committed?
Dean Tanaka, are you okay with people being fucking apprehended off the street because of the color of their skin by people in masks, given no due process, and deported from this country? Because your ass could be next.
Crimes other than being in the country undocumented?
So that is Piers Morgan, a staunch MAGA Trump ally, finally brutally turning on Donald Trump with respect to his cruel immigration and deportation policies, and really grilling MAGA actor Dean Cain in the most recent episode of Piers Morgan Uncensored. And this becomes a heated debate in the full episode. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, as you know, we cover Piers Morgan a lot here. Number one, because he is probably the most famous journalist on earth.
Because he's clickbait. And that's the only reason he's doing what he's doing right now. He's just switched sides because he knows the argument now is on the other side. Piers Morgan hasn't become a better human being. Piers Morgan hasn't woke up. He's not turning on Trump. Piers Morgan has decided that the winds of change are now blowing the other way, and he's going to do what he always does, and that is he is the Jerry Springer of this generation. He brings people on, he gets them to fight, he interjects with whatever side of the argument he needs to be on to create the conflict he needs to. Piers Morgan hasn't woke up to anything. Piers Morgan recognizes the best thing that he can do on his show between Dean Cain and Tim from the Bulwark is to attempt to get Dean Cain, the less educated, the less politically savvy person on his show, to freak out and say something so that way him or Tim can fucking chastise him, make fun of him, and make it entertaining for everybody watching. Because we live in a content creation world. It is an attention economy, and he understands that. I'm not going to say that Piers Morgan doesn't know, like, how to make money in this atmosphere, but what he's doing is leading to the degradation of the society. It's just like Jerry Springer. It's just like WWE. It's just like 4chan and the rest of the shit that has gotten us into the place that we are in today. Piers Morgan hasn't flipped on Trump. Piers Morgan just recognizes that the best place that he can go right now is to push back against people that are fucking idiots like Dean Tanaka, because that's going to make the best content.
Number two, he has a massively successful channel. Number three, whether you like it or not, he puts together wildly entertaining content in terms of his panels and debates. But again, if you watch the show, you know I'm very critical of Piers because even though he professes to be a nonpartisan journalist, he is heavily biased towards Donald Trump.
Heavily biased. He's his best friend.
He holds Democrats to higher standards. He pulls his punches with Trump for the most part. However, he has become increasingly critical of things that Trump fucks up on, like the Epstein files debacle, and now even immigration. This represents...
Like I said, because the Epstein files are something that he knows he can generate content off of. I don't think that Piers Morgan here has any moral grounding. He doesn't have like a foundation of values and belief that he's working off. If he did, he wouldn't be friends with Donald Trump. His fucking friend is the person that is hiding files that if you wanted to be the best faith fucking possible, you could say Donald Trump's name is in them and is some way connected to Donald Trump without any evidence so far of any illicit actions being exposed. That's being the best faith you possibly could be. And Piers Morgan's not going to call him out for that. Piers Morgan's not going to sit here and say, you know, I don't think I can be friends with Donald Trump if Donald Trump is hiding the actions of, even if it's not him, but the people that he knew that could have been doing these things to children. That's a level that's a bar that is so fucking far down in the ground for your moral foundation that you can't even speak out against a person that is potentially, even if you don't believe that they did bad shit, protecting people that did. Like, you can't trust a person like that. You can't trust them ever to be honest about anything.
The most staunch criticism of Trump vis-a-vis immigration and deportations that I've ever seen from Morgan, who's otherwise inclined to cut Trump a lot of slack. So it's pretty impressive that we see this. Now, we're going to play some clips here. You have Tim Miller, also of the Bulwark. He's going to show up in a couple of clips at the end. But otherwise, this is Piers grilling Dean Cain, former Superman actor.
Dane, let me ask you, where do you draw the line?
Well, that's not for me to make that policy. That's up to Director Lyons and Congress. I mean, these are things that Congress should be dealing with, and they should make...
What? You're joining ICE, dog. You don't say, okay, so they've been rounding up Jewish people and they've been putting them in these concentration camps and they've been, murdering them. How do you feel about that? And Dean Cain's like, well, hey, I'm not making those decisions. You know, Congress is, the president is. I'm just joining the forces voluntarily. What the fuck?
Make those laws, and then our ICE agents will dutifully perform those duties. I mean, they'll take care of whatever the law.
But you must have an opinion. You must have an opinion where that line should be drawn, because
Panic. You know that's wrong. You know that he has been doing things that are outside of the executive branch this entire time. He's used unilateral fucking authoritarianism to do anything that he wanted to do. His fucking guy that he just got onto the federal courts for the rest of his life, Emil Bove, literally said, if a judge tells you that you can't do this, tell that judge to go fuck themselves. You're protecting a human trafficker. And I recognize that every one of you said a while ago, this guy is just like us. And now I know that he's just like you. You would protect these people too. You would hide behind the ability to say, it's not, I can't release these files of all these elite people that did all these things. I don't have authority. If you're a good human being, you just do that shit. You just do it. Don't give me that shit. But keep protecting traffickers. At least we know who you people are.
You know, we all agree
we know who you are,
that the southern border being closed is a good thing. We all three of us agree that people who commit crimes when they're in the country undocumented, crimes that are not related to their immigration status, that they should be deported. So we've got broad agreement on those two big planks of the policy. The issue that Tim and I have is that we do not believe that just going into Home Depot and grabbing anyone who's undocumented is a particularly American thing to do, particularly if they've been in the country for a long period of time and built lives in America and are contributing to society and paying taxes and so on. So my question before I go back to Tim is simply, you know, if you were helping them reframe the law, where would you draw the line in terms of who you would allow to stay and who you would deport?
So that's a really good question. And again, it's important to remember that the polls support what Piers is saying here in the sense that
100%.
The Americans are not happy about this. Americans are not happy.
Panic. He hasn't explained a single process in which he's gone through. He's used acts from the fucking 1700s to support the things he does. You're telling me that the guy that ran on it, that said, first of all, let's fucking talk about this. Hold on. You can't even claim that Donald Trump believes that there are Epstein files. Donald Trump said they were a hoax written by fucking Comey, Obama, and Clinton. And, oh yeah, I'm sorry, and the Biden administration, because for fucking some reason, the guy that they believe was so fucking dementiaed out that he couldn't possibly do anything, wrote part of the fan fiction about Donald Trump. What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean he doesn't have the fucking ability to release files that he claims were written as a hoax? If they were written as a hoax, he'd just be able to fucking just show you whatever the fuck he wanted. It's fan fiction, dog. You're just like him. You protect fucking traffickers because you're just like him. Jesus Christ, I love the fucking mental gymnastics you people do. It is weird to watch. Please, Panic, do me a favor and do society a favor. You guys are like CTE victims. I bet you got CTE, Panic. I bet you money you have CTE. Do us all a fucking favor. Donate your brain to science. This shit needs to be studied. It 100% needs to be studied because future generations should look back at this time and the fucking mental gymnastics you guys did to protect human traffickers that could give two fucking shits less whether you live or die and would rather you live in poverty. Like, we need to know for future generations what your fucking brain looks like. I'm going to guess that it's missing a frontal lobe. That's what I'm going to go with.
With what they're seeing, Donald Trump came into office with
that's literally the grand jury
approval on immigration.
About the grand jury
and he's totally
has nothing
killed that
to do with the files.
In a span of 6
Holy
months.
shit,
He's underwater on
actually
immigration. The
morons.
one area, the one subset of immigration where he generally has some sort of positive net approval is on the specific matter of border security, which is, again, merely a subset of his overall immigration policy. And that also depends on the poll.
You're an actual
He's not
moron,
above board and above water on in every poll on border security.
Jesus Christ.
So Trump has squandered a lot of the Americans' goodwill. But what's interesting about this is that,
Holy
as you're about
shit,
to
you're
see,
dumb.
Dean Cain tries to avoid answering the question. He's got a lot of opinions, but when it comes to this particular matter, he punts.
Well, it sounds like you agree on policy but disagree on tactics. On tactics and the way they're doing it. The way they're rolling in. Usually,
no, I don't, because I don't agree with the.
Bro, I grew up in a trailer park in one of the worst fucking places in this country, and somehow I'm smarter than you are. What the fuck is going on in this world?
Reporting everyone who's in the country undocumented. Do you?
Everyone who's in the country undocumented? Well, that is not my decision.
The judicial branch has been shown to be ballless in this administration. Look, you can make every argument you want, Panic. You can make whatever. Reality proves you wrong. He has shown over and over again that he has deported people without due process, regardless of what the judicial branch wants. They literally have tried to hold them in contempt, and he has just laughed in their faces. Do you know why? Because the judicial branch is slow and unwieldy. It's the reason that during Project 2025, they actually prepped executive orders to get them all out within the first 180 days before Donald Trump came to office. It's because the judicial branch has to go through multiple steps, including appeals, including it going up to the Supreme Court, before anything can actually be stopped or done about it. The President of the United States, as Donald Trump has done, can, if he just wants to be a fucking asshole about it, completely subvert the judicial branch. He has done that, just like he has subverted Congress when it comes to tariffs. Tariffs are actually something that are supposed to go through Congress because Congress has the purse strings. But for some fucking reason, Donald Trump was allowed to enact the Emergency Act, which means that then he gets to put forth these tariffs, which eventually, yes, the judicial branch might finally catch up and overturn. And then you know what it fucking does to the country? It fucks us all, because Donald Trump put in a bunch of tariffs and created a bunch of deals and spent a bunch of fucking money that he can't do that with. Even if they actually fucking do that, it is a fucking 6-3 Supreme Court. Jesus Christ. There's no way you're this dumb. No way you're this dumb. You have to be trolling. You have to be. He released the MLK files. This is just Trump supporters in a nutshell. There's no way a dude that grew up in a fucking trailer park is smarter than you. Jesus Christ.
To make, but I know that if you're in any other country undocumented, my opinion is
he was literally told by the FBI that his fucking names are all over those files. You guys are special. You guys are special in a special way.
If you're here illegally,
what's your opinion, Dave?
I'm trying to give it to you. If you're here illegally, you should have gone through steps to legalize your status. There's been countless opportunities to do that.
So all the people that are being arrested at courts going through the legal steps to become citizens of the United States, then Dean Cain here agrees that they shouldn't be being deported.
There has been tons and tons of opportunities to do that. And you broke the law when you came here. It's the same as in any other country. You've got to find a way to legalize yourself.
So, as the debate unfolds, Tim Miller, founder of The Bulwark, he's an ever-Trump Republican, goes into many examples.
Panic, you don't live in reality, dog. You don't live in reality. I love the tremble in your nervous breath. You are one weird-ass dude, like all Trump supporters are. But it's cool. I know, you don't have any friends. You don't have any family anymore. You don't have a job because, whenever you do go to your job, people, fucking hate you and shit because all you do is talk about how you like that little orange dick. So you come here to be shit on because that's your kink. So I appreciate you being here because you are my content. That's why I keep you guys around, so that way I can shit on you guys and all the people in chat get to laugh at you. It's pretty amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Of where Trump's terrible, draconian, cruel, reckless immigration policies, deportation policies have resulted in the detainment and deportation of not just people who are authorized to be here legally, legal immigrants,
I know.
Documented immigrants, but oftentimes American citizens have either been inconvenienced or deported. That's a failure, a grotesque failure of civil liberties, human rights, due process, and it's all the Trump administration's fault. But Dean Cain is bending over backwards to avoid articulating an affirmative preference. Just say, hey, listen, I mean, he makes it clear. Actually, yes, he does support the deportation of every undocumented immigrant in this country. He wants to avoid admitting that because he knows it's wildly unpopular, it's very cruel, and it is fundamentally un-American, I would argue. But when push comes to shove, when Piers presses him, it's like, well, I mean, you guys knew you broke the law and you should have not done that. So, I mean, I guess you're fair game.
Yeah.
This is why Trump's approval rating on immigration is plummeting, because of people like Dean Cain who are urging Trump to do the most cruel and unpopular things. Now, the next two clips I'm going to play pivot the discussion specifically to ICE agents wearing masks and often not revealing themselves, identifying themselves. And there's a lot of scandal about this because, people are being detained and, I generously, I suppose you would say, brought into custody. You could say kidnapped by masked people.
I would say kidnapped. I would 100% say kidnapped. When you're arresting 15-year-old disabled kids outside of a high school while their relative is going in for an orientation so that way they can get an education, I would call that being kidnapped.
Claiming to be ICE agents, offering very little or no identification, not even revealing their faces. Now that's fucking wrong.
Panic. You don't.
And this is where, unfortunately, Piers kind of goes back to his
your head's in the sand
inclination to grade Trump on a curve. But Tim Miller isn't having it. And Tim Miller articulates a very fundamental, I would argue, a conservative, depending on your vantage point, reason why ICE officers, ICE agents, no law enforcement officers should be wearing masks in this way.
But my second point was, we all know.
Panic's an ICE officer. How much want I bet? Panic wears a mask everywhere he goes because he don't want nobody to know. Not that he knows anybody. He doesn't have any friends. He sits at home and jerks off to incel stuff, but... I appreciate that somebody like Panic can't show his face in public, because if he does, people are going to be like, oh my God, there's that guy. He's probably going to try and abduct somebody. He wishes he was part of ICE. He probably isn't part of ICE, because even ICE would look at Panic and be like, nah, dude. Even you, bud. Like, they wouldn't even take you. Your family don't love you. Your friends hate you. And ICE wouldn't even accept you.
Why they're wearing masks is because they're being doxxed left, right, and center on social media and having their lives
I'm not going to explain it bullshit.
This is bullshit. For starters, we have evidence ICE agents aren't being.
I know you think, dog,
it is.
But I ain't
really
going
quick.
through it
Let's
again.
go back to George Redis. He arrived at work. He was a U.S. citizen. ICE agents surrounded his car. He identified himself as a U.S. citizen. They broke his window, pepper sprayed him, and dragged him out. He's in detention for 3 days. So we do have evidence that they're not being trained to respect people's rights. And on the masks, this is crazy. Do you know how many judges have been threatened? If you're a judge and you have, that there's a case that is happening, you're a prosecutor, and you're targeting a murder suspect, these guys have been threatened. There have been judges whose families have been threatened. Their lives have been threatened. There are a lot of people in public life who have been threatened. You still don't get to wear a mask and be a secret judge. Not in a free country. You don't. I'm sure you get threatened. I'm sorry. If you're an agent of the government, if you're a representative of the people, you need to show your face and name yourself so that you have accountability. That is a totally reasonable ask.
That's not insane. The fact that, if you took police officers 10 years ago, 4 years ago, let's say 4 years ago, because let's not even say under Trump. In fact, let's say 12 years ago, under Obama. And if police officers were wearing masks and going out to find Tea Party patriots at protests, ripping them from there, putting them in detentions, not telling their family members where they're at, Republicans would be losing their fucking minds. They'd be out of control. But these people are hypocrites. Every day of the week, they're hypocrites. Donald Trump literally just said the other day, I think I should have made more money off of my first administration, so I'm going to make a bunch of money off of this administration. Yet these are the same people that said he donates his salary. His net worth has gone up by billions of dollars since being in office. He donates his salary. This is the same people that say he's the wealthiest person ever but then they send him $35 out of their Social Security check. They're hypocrites. There's nothing about these people, whether it's Panic here or it's any other Trump troll that's came through here, because that's all you are. It's just a Trump troll. Any person that comes through here, it's always the same. They're the biggest hypocrites you'll ever meet in your life. I can literally show you DM after DM from fucking Trump supporters that would tell me that the only thing that they're against is these billionaires that are buying up elections like George Soros, these tech billionaires that inhibited free speech on Twitter. And yet they don't have a problem with Donald Trump owning his own social media. It's all hypocrisy. It's all the same shit. None of these people will ever actually talk about life like it is. They'll just make shit up because it's easier that way. If they can create reality, just like Rudy Giuliani told them, alternative facts. You have your facts and I have mine. If they can continue to do that, they'll never have to wake up to the fact that when Donald Trump goes down and this shit actually happens, they're all going to have to Haley Bop's Comet themselves. They're all going to have to put on the Nikes and drink the Kool-Aid and go with a dear leader up to the fucking Hellbop Comet and just ride in that tail on to the kingdom in the sky. Because at that point, there's nowhere going to be left in society for these people to exist that people won't look at them and be like, damn, that's got to be embarrassing.
And so I have no sympathy.
And we'll play another clip in just a second, but that's 100% right. I mean, listen, doxing law enforcement officers is wrong. Doxing anybody is wrong. Public figures get doxed. It's wrong. It's illegal. People who do it should be prosecuted. There's no question about it. However, when you wield the powers of the state as an ICE agent, as a police officer, as an FBI agent, as a judge,
they just accuse
as
the other side of what
a Secret Service agent, whatever, as president of the United States, whatever, you are assuming a level of risk. You are assuming a level of risk when it comes to threats. And by the way, threats against government officials and law enforcement officials, it's illegal for a reason and a good reason. But this idea that ICE should be permitted to totally conceal their identities because they're being threatened is absurd. You wield great power, which means you assume a certain level of risk. Risks, by the way, that the state goes out of its way to try to prosecute, right? Again, it's not like it's legal to dox or to threaten or to harass government officials and law enforcement agents. It's illegal. It's criminalized for a reason. The fact that there's still a risk, despite that, doesn't permit you to conceal your identity in a healthy republic where public accountability is important and it incentivizes a...
Panic, why do you keep talking about the grand jury indictment? That's testimony from an FBI investigator and a police investigator. That is not the amount of files that allegedly Pam Bondi claimed was on her desk, that Donald Trump claims is a hoax. This is why you don't live in reality. You keep bringing up the grand jury indictment. The grand jury indictment has been 2 people in a row that were neither one, I want to say, were Trump judges said no to those indictments. The last judge that looked at it literally said that it was the worst attempt at dishonesty that he had ever seen before. The Trump administration understands that if they ask for those grand jury indictments to be released, but they don't do the job that is necessary to legally get them released, that they can hide behind the fact that a judge said not to release those indictments. But the testimony in the indictments isn't even what anybody is talking about. You guys do the weirdest mental gymnastics that I have ever seen in my life. Trump and his administration claimed that there are thousands of hours of footage, thousands of files, 10,000 files. None of those have anything to do with the grand jury testimony of an FBI investigator or a police officer that was investigating Maxwell. Nothing. Zero.
Abuse of power when you don't have to have that level of accountability.
I mean, there's a reason. Low IQ.
There's a principle in the law which says that you have a right to confront your accuser in a court of law. There's a reason for that accountability. Like, hey, you're going to bring charges against me. You're going to sue me. You're going to do all these things. And I have a right to look you in the eye. And you have a right to think twice about whether or not you want to bring these charges and bring this case against me,
They're
depriving
getting bounties,
me of
though.
life, liberty, property, knowing that you can't do it anonymously. That's just a fundamental bedrock principle of democracy. So again, doxing and harassment and threats against law enforcement officers are rightly illegal. It's wrong. But the fact that it's illegal and wrong doesn't mean that law enforcement agents or government officials get the right to be risk-free by way of just concealing
100%.
their faces and their identities. It's absurd. The abuse of power is extraordinary.
To step up for
Bro,
her.
you keep bringing up the indictments.
Of course
That's not the files.
Of course that's not okay. Of course
I
we
do
should,
think it's important. I do think. Yeah, but it's important, Tim. I think just before you respond, it's very important to acknowledge
Hold on.
that
Hold on. Oh my God, dude, you are the dumbest fucking human being. You want me to type in ChatGPT? That's where you go for your information. You go to ChatGPT for your information. Holy shit. You guys self-report so fucking hard. Holy Christ. You want me to go to ChatGPT? That's what you think. Holy shit. You guys self-report so hard. Oh my God. This is your whole life. You're that dumb. You go to AI. You go to AI to get your information. You literally can't make this shit up. Holy Christ.
So also apprehending a lot of very bad people in this process. I mean, indisputably, you can see the stories every day. So yes, there are some that are getting through the net, which is unacceptable. I don't like the tactics of storming into Home Depot and rounding up random people who may be undocumented. But we shouldn't be too denigrating of what ICE is doing in removing bad people. That we should all be on the right side of.
I don't denigrate that, but I'm just saying.
Bro, ChatGPT convinced a autistic person the other day that they could bend time. This is your source. Your source is literally a AI that convinced an autistic person that they could bend time to the point that they had a manic episode and ended up being hospitalized. That's your source. You might be the dumbest human being on this planet. And that's saying a lot with MAGA on this planet. That's saying a lot.
In any job, there are people that are bad apples that act poorly. It's true about podcasting, news hosting, acting. I'm sorry, when you have the force of the state at your hand, you have to be transparent about who you are, and allowing people to be masked and to rough people up without any accountability is just wrong. And what about that guy? I don't have
100%.
And I want you all to consider, we'll end on this. Dean Cain and even Piers Morgan, so many on the right, are saying it's okay, it's good that these ICE agents are masked because there's a risk to them. I want you to imagine if the FBI agents and law enforcement officers that conducted the raid at Mar-a-Lago or that arrested Donald Trump of the various times he'd been arrested, if they were wearing masks, do you think MAGA 100%. Would be so generous with the benefit of the doubt? Or would they be saying things like, oh, these masked Biden goons, these masked Biden jackboots trying to, attack our president? That's the sort of thing they'd be saying. They recognize when the shoe is on the other foot that there needs to be accountability and transparency, and that law enforcement officers and government officials, unfortunately, just have to assume a certain level of risk. But when it comes to these cruel, draconian deportations and immigration policy, they want the identities concealed, which will only facilitate abuse of power, and it's fundamentally un-American. I'm with Tim Miller on that. So there you have it, folks. Piers Morgan turning on Trump, but also backing him with respect to, asking ICE off.
Everything else. Because he's not changing. Piers Morgan isn't waking up. Piers Morgan isn't becoming fucking all of a sudden aware or awake to the things. Piers Morgan has a job to do as a content creator, and he is creating clicks and views, and that is all that matters to Piers Morgan. He's not even American. Panic, I'm literally losing brain cells talking to you, so I'm going to need you to just go back to talking to ChatGPT. It's look at this point, Panic Dog, that's the only friend you got left, so I understand, dude. There ain't nobody else you can ask. I actually feel really bad for you, dude. I do. I feel bad for you because I used to say to you guys, I used to say to all you Trump supporters that come through here, I came from the trailer park. I believed in conspiracy theories. I was a pretty conservative person, I'd say, until like in my 30s. I always had pretty good values as far as how I treated people, but I'd say more like an old school conservative traditional values based around like Second Amendment rights, lower taxation, smaller government, all of those things. But you get the conservatives like that don't exist anymore. But I always said, like, I feel for you guys because I know what it's like to be that person. But at this point, like, I can't help you guys. Like, I can't be your friend, Panic. I know you, like, want me to be your friend. I understand that. Like, you're hanging out, you're talking to me, and I appreciate that. But ChatGPT is really the only thing you're going to have left. Women aren't going to touch you. Women aren't going to want anything to do with you because you're, like, literally abhorrent. Like, people, like, look at the things you guys believe and the stuff that you guys do, and they're like, fuck, I'll never, ever let that man touch me. So I get it. I understand. I do. I feel bad for you. I totally feel bad for you. I have a 20-year career, Panic. Like, I have everything in my life that you wish you had. I own my home. I've worked my way from being fucking the poorest you possibly can and be in this country to owning my own home, having a family. My children are both academically and athletically gifted. I've worked fucking all the way from the bottom to the top. I have everything you wish you have. I'm free of debt. I'm like everything you wish you had. And instead, all you have is ChatGPT. So I'm gonna let you go now because we actually have to do a show. I do like engaging with you guys because it cracks me up. But I am like losing brain cells, like just talking to you. So I appreciate you for being here. I've explained to you 3 times how he could, and you keep bringing up the indictments. You're not bringing up the actual evidence. You're bringing up an indictment that involves an FBI investigator and a police officer and their testimony, which they're not going to release because there's nothing in there. Like the judge said, the one that you literally fucking posted his name. There is no there. And he even said that he thought about disclosing the grand jury indictment testimony just to show that there was no there. You can keep trying, bud. Look at you. Cool, buddy. Like, you're going to be okay, all right? You're going to be okay. All right. Have a good night, Panic. Make sure you say goodnight and tell ChatGPT how much you appreciate it. And don't let it convince you that you can bend time. Okay, buddy? Remember, you can't bend time, Panic. All right? You can't bend time. God, these people are amazing. Like, literally, like, you should donate your brain before you die. Because you don't use it. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, let's watch videos. Oh, dude. He's not real smart. He's like, I typed so hard, though. Have a good night, Peg. But we let him stay because he increases the algorithm. He keeps bringing people in. It's fucking amazing. It's awesome. It's good for us. All right, let's watch another video. Let's see. Let's watch the one about the IHIP ladies, because those are my ladies. So like I said, the other day, the IHIP ladies, I think they went on like CNN or something like that. And then Fox News was like reacting to that. But if you guys didn't see Jen going on Kyle Kalinski's podcast where she talked to Crystal Ball and Kyle Kalinski, that was actually kind of amazing. It was a really good interview, guys, and you should guys watch it. But this specific video is talking about the Fox host smearing the I've Had It podcast lady, who is one of the fucking dopest human beings there is. So let's watch this video. It's Kyle Kalinski and the IHIP ladies and talking about Fox News trying to smear him.
It's on Crystal, Kyle, and Friends. We had on Jennifer Welch of the I've Had It podcast.
She's so
they've
dope.
been blowing up recently, and they're doing a great job over there. And if there's one thing they know how to do just right, it is trigger MAGA. And so she had this clip that went viral. I'm going to show you that full clip in a second. But before I do, Fox News covered this clip, and man, were they salty over it. They were coping and seething because now you finally have
Just
somebody
like all
on the
Trump
left
supporters.
who's willing to fight and throw some haymakers and not care about the consequences. So let's watch, and then I'll break it down for you. And I'll show you the full clip, because what they do here is they hide a lot of the clip. It's like they try to water it down a little bit so that they can react to it, but if they saw the whole clip in its entirety, they'd be like a deer in headlights. They wouldn't even know what to say or what to do, because they're not used to dealing with people on the left who actually know how to fight like this. So let's watch.
Do you ever want to pull into a Cracker Barrel?
Oh, my, come on, Hammer.
So there's Jennifer Welch is a Bravo
Panic's about to go domestically violent somebody at a Cracker
World
Barrel.
and Trump and all those deplorables, okay? Eating cheese at a Cracker Barrel. Here we go.
I've had it with white people that triple trumped. Yeah. That have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your fat ass over to Cracker Barrel.
There's a lot in there. Ohio has Cracker Barrels. We actually look forward to eating them.
They're the best.
You know, the cheese in the middle.
It's like when it's like when fucking Gutfeld was like, they call us Nazis. Maybe we should start calling each other Nazis. Maybe we should take the power away from that word. They're like, that's right. We're Nazis and we love Cracker Barrel. They're the smartest people on the fucking planet.
The table, delectable.
How about the peg game? Just the peg game alone.
The peg game itself was.
Did I say the pegging? They do enjoy the pegging. I guarantee this dude enjoys some good pegging.
There's another national treasure.
Notice how they're dodging the point on purpose. It's very obvious what they're doing here. It's not like they don't understand the argument she was making, but they're pretending like they don't. And
Dan, deep fried mayonnaise balls. That's all I've got to say. Deep fried mayonnaise balls.
Love Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel's delicious, bro. She wasn't saying it wasn't delicious. That's not what she said. You know that's not what she said. You're being dishonest, aren't you?
And you know who knows that? Every ethnic group in this country. It is not a predominant white restaurant. It's black people, it's Latino people.
Not the point. Not the point. Not the point. Not the point. You know it's not the point. You don't know how to actually respond to her point, so you're pretending like she made a different point that she didn't make.
Asian people, Muslim people, everybody likes Cracker Barrel. Who doesn't want chicken and dumplings on the side of a highway? Okay, it's like, it's spiritual nourishment. And when she goes out and makes this other argument that like, oh, MAGA voters shouldn't be anywhere near Mexican or Chinese restaurants. First of all, yes, wardrobe wants me to stay out of Mexican and Chinese restaurants. I concede that, but it's not because of my politics. It's so lazy to make the assumption that only white people voted MAGA. There was a 44-point swing with Latinos to Trump, legal migrants. Obviously, his black male support was higher than...
No, guys. Illegal immigrants, they're voting all over the place. They're totally allowed to vote. They vote in federal elections all the time. And guess what? They all voted for Donald Trump. That's what we're just going to start saying. You might as well fucking just... These aren't smart people.
Any Republicans, it's Gerald Ford.
Let me just pause here to point out. She said people who triple trumped, which means they voted for Trump 3 times. The number of minorities who voted for Trump 3 times, oh, that's a low number. He's trying to say, well, there was a swing in certain minority communities this time around. That's not what she said. She said the people who triple trumped, white people who triple trumped. And by the way, people who triple trumped, it is overwhelmingly white people.
Yep.
So now we play this bullshit game where he's like, oh, but what about the minorities who like Trump, bro? Have you seen the polls recently? Turns out when he started opening up concentration camps and sending innocent people there, a lot of the minorities went, you know what? Yeah, man, fuck that one up there. I don't think I'm with this anymore.
So what she's really saying is, I don't talk to anybody that's not in my elite circle. Lazy.
Oh, my God. You are on Fox fucking News, you fat prick. I don't talk to anybody not in my circle. You're on Fox News. This is the most elitist circle I've ever seen. And now, by the way, this is about to take an uglier turn.
Kennedy, one last word from you. I mean, I love Honky Barrel. It is one of my favorite restaurants. Now, I looked at this woman, I was like,
Look at that fucking lady. Holy shit. Manny, you came just in time, my dude. Holy shit. This lady said a honky barrel.
I She looked like the nun out of Habit.
Yeah.
The horror movie. This is such
this
an
is not real life
straw man, and it just.
I'm offended. Oh, are you offended? We're so sorry we hurt your feelings. Oh, are you a triggered little snowflake? Who's the triggered snowflake now, bitch? They don't know how to see. Here's the thing.
What's up,
They don't
Mitchell?
know how to deal with it when the left
What's
actually
going on?
fights back. They don't know how to deal with it when the left actually fights back.
Yeah, they don't know how to deal with it.
We don't give a fuck. Be offended all day long for all we care.
Get offended.
Bathe in your
Hate that
offendedness. We don't care. Take it. Own it.
Cry, bitch.
Sit with that feeling. Feel that to your core. Because what you're feeling now, double it, triple it, quadruple it. We're not going to stop until you're a little fucking puddle on the ground.
Do not get her
offendedness.
order wrong, Dan.
This is what you're not getting. In this new era, liberals and leftists, we're done with you.
Yep.
We don't care what you think.
100%.
We don't care what you say. We don't care what you feel. You're basically dead to us, is what you are. Because this whole time, you guys have been the most obnoxious, aggressive, over-the-top, lunatic, insane, defending the most disgusting fucking concentration camps and bombing countries that didn't attack us and trade wars that make inflation skyrocket. You defend every horrible thing ever, and then you have the nerve to say, oh, but you hurt my feelings. Good.
Because they're Trump flakes. That's why I've said it from the fucking beginning of this. 2 years in making video, long before other people were coming here. I love to make fun of these people. I will mock the shit out of these people. I will make fun of them. And I don't give two shits whose feelings they hurt. I don't care. They're morons. They're not smart. They do nothing but gaslight people on the left and try to get them to pick up their own talking points and be like, aren't you the tolerant left? I ain't part of the tolerant left. I ain't part of any party. I'm just a dude on here making fun of MAGA for being a bunch of fucking idiots that voted against their own interests. And it's quite possibly the most fun I have all week.
Loudest people in Hollywood are also the dumbest.
I can't with this woman. Also, when she attacked the looks of Jennifer Welch, bitch,
Dude,
you are wearing
look at
glasses
her.
that look straight out of 1992 from a woman who was 87 years old named Ethel. I've never seen glasses that thick. I don't know how they're staying on your head. Those shits probably...
Dude, I love this Kyle. I love this Kyle Kalinske. Like I said, the left had to get over that shit. The left had to get over the whole, we don't make fun of people. We're all, when they go low, we go high. We're the tolerant left. They had to get over that shit. And it's so wonderful to watch. It's so much fun to watch people like Kyle, people like Mike Figueredo over on the Humanist Report. People like actually recognizing that you're not going to nice your way out of this. You can't use soft language with these morons. You got to just call it what it is. You got to look at these people and recognize these are the lowest common denominator. Donald Trump's one thing that he was massively successful at was getting stupid people off the couch to go and vote. He did it. He did a great job. He got people that were part of the WWE Degeneration X fandom, people that believe that Vince McMahon's a good person, that Hulk Hogan's a good person, people that fucking just wallowed in the degeneracy of shit like 4chan or Jerry Springer, people that never grew the fuck up, 40-year-old men that had never voted in their lives for anybody because they were disenfranchised. They hated life. They'd never been able to have a successful relationship in their entire life. Women hated them. They blamed women for all of their fucking problems. Their children hate them, so they blame fucking society for it. All of that shit. Donald Trump tapped into that. And he was like, hey, guys, I'm just like you. And they were like, oh, really? Somebody that likes us? Somebody that believes in us? He was like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. I understand that, but I need your vote. So I like you. I think that you guys are actually based. And they're like, yeah? Yeah, Brenda, did you hear that? Donald said I'm based. These people, they deserve to be mocked. They deserve to be shamed. They'll never actually be embarrassed because they don't have that ability. They'll look around at everything in their life just completely falling apart, degenerating into the sludge that they wake up into every single morning, and they'll go, this is somebody else's fault. It's definitely not mine.
Weigh 42 pounds looking at him. Don't you dare criticize anybody's look. And it's about to get worse.
Funny that she's making fun of
Kyle.
conservatives for not being attractive.
So much in there.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I couldn't hear you over the Botox
You're
injection.
needed in hair and makeup.
Again, homie, you are on Fox News. The number of surgeries at that table that you're sitting at is double digits. Who are we kidding? All right, now ready? So what they did is they only spliced up a little part of the clip and showed it, the part that they felt comfortable reacting to. But now let's listen to the thing in its totality because, man, this is so glorious. This went so viral, and I'm so happy it went viral because this is the energy that we need in 2025 and going forward.
With white people that triple trumped, that have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. And if you want to triple Trump and you want to browbeat DEI and you want to browbeat gay people and you want to browbeat black people as you've been doing for 400 years, and you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes, you want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit Kangas McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit. No one.
That's the fucking energy. That's what I'm talking about. That's why the I've had it, ladies. They're number one, dude. Because that's how you talk to these people. That's how you talk to these people. The left didn't get it. Like I said, Kamala's campaign manager talking about you got to play between the 45s. You got to reach across the aisle. Nobody on the right side of the aisle is playing that playbook. You are playing defense against a team that plays nothing but fucking Hail Marys. You are crowding the box with 8 players trying to stop the run, and they are just dropping Hail Marys over your head because you never recognize that the game has changed. The right doesn't play this anymore. The right comes in the left-wing spaces, says right-wing shit, gets left-wing people to criticize themselves and gaslight themselves, and then at the end of the day, they go back over to the other side and they're like, yeah, I trolled him. I trolled him. I trolled him. Now, I mean, obviously the benefit to that is they're never going to procreate. So that's great. That's good. The party that fucking keeps talking about traditional family values and attempting to, like, you know, stop the Western depopulation of degrade or whatever, decline. They're never going to, like, women don't want to touch these people. So that is a benefit. But if the left thinks that you're going to reach across the aisle like Kamala Harris's campaign manager thought, that you're going to say to the right, hey, we just think, you know, a minority coming into the country and working undocumented doesn't deserve that life, that we should be fast-tracking people and finding ways for those people to get citizenship in a much quicker way. Like, if you think that somebody on the right that has been living on a steady diet of fear, anger, and hatred given to them by Donald Trump, if you think they're going to be like, you know what, actually some of these undocumented immigrants, they're actually good people, it's not going to fucking happen. The left needs to double down and say, when people come here and they work hard and they create businesses and they live by the rules, I don't give two shits whether or not they came across the border legally or illegally. If they are living a life that every American citizen should live in America that is beneficial and productive to all the people that live here, then they should have a right to take advantage of the same things that American citizens do. No fucking capitulating. No sitting here and playing this fucking game with Republicans where you engage and you go, well, you know, they've got a good point here or there. Because really what you had on the left was you had a bunch of people that did want to be a part of the democratic movement. But when they stood up and they said certain things, the left never defended them. When they made fun of a Republican candidate and said, that dude fucking has a weird laugh, like they tried to make fun of Kamala for, people on the left would say, oh, don't do that. Don't make fun of people's laugh. Or you'd say something like, that chick has fucking Botox. Who the fuck is she to say somebody is this way or that way? We don't make fun of the way she looks. And people on the left felt like, you know what? I know that there's something wrong with what's going on right now, but not a single person here will defend me. Instead, I get criticized by the people on this side too. And I think that people like Kyle Kalinske, I think people like Mike Figueredo have really fucking figured out that at the end of the day, if you want to get the young people, the people that really do want to see the impoverished in our communities taken care of, that do want to see undocumented immigrants being treated just like American citizens that want to be here, that you got to defend them. And you can't pussyfoot around this shit using soft language and saying to people, oh, you know, like you got to give them a little bit of credit. They have a pretty good point here, you know. There are, like, undocumented immigrants that do commit crimes. No shit. No shit. You know who commits more crimes than any other fucking person here in America? Americans. That's who do. I love seeing this from Kyle Kalinske. It makes me feel so good seeing this from Kyle Kalinske. Good job, Kyle.
So the argument she's making is, wait, let's keep it real here for a second.
Fucking titty babies.
You all want a fucking ethno-state. That's what you voted for. You voted for mass deportations, right? You're going full fucking fascist. You like the concentration camps. You like alligator Auschwitz. You like the gulag in fucking El Salvador, the mega prison CCOT. You like sending immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. You like no due process, no habeas corpus, no hearings, ruining people's lives. Again, mass deportation. That's what you like. In your heart of hearts, you want an ethno-state. When Trump said, why do they always come here from the shithole countries? It's always the shithole countries. You sat there and you clapped like a fucking seal. Oh, yeah, the shithole countries. Kick them out. Kick them out. Okay, bitch. Live your values. If you want a white ethno-state, live like it's a white ethno-state. I don't want you having no fucking Hispanic nanny. I don't want you having no Hispanic cleaning lady. I don't want you fucking having somebody come and cut your grass who's an immigrant or an undocumented immigrant. You got to handle all that shit on your own, dog. Go hire some non-Hispanic person to do that stuff if you're going to have anybody do that stuff.
Fuck around and find out.
You want to go to get Chinese food, but you want a white ethno-state. Maybe that's not the place for you.
Mayonnaise
you want authentic
balls.
Mexican
That's all
food?
you
Well,
get
too
to
bad.
eat.
You wanted to kick out all the people who made the fucking authentic Mexican food. If you want an ethno-state, live in your ethno-state, bitch. Live in your ethno-state. Go have haggis for dinner. Try that.
Oh.
Tell me how you like that.
Oh.
This is the reality. What she's saying is, if these are what you say your values are and your principles are, okay, live that. Go live that.
Yep.
Go live in a fucking, go to fucking Idaho or Iowa or wherever the fuck it was where they had that whites-only town that they're trying to create. Go live there. Let me know how it works out for you.
That'd be Springfield, Missouri, Kyle Kalinske. Springfield, Missouri. I believe there's already one in Arkansas. And a lot of these people would 100% exist in Oildale, California as well.
Right? These are the values you want? Okay, go do that. But you shouldn't be able to fucking enjoy the Chinese food. You shouldn't be allowed to enjoy the Mexican food. You shouldn't be allowed to go to your gay hairdresser and get your shit cut just right. No, she's right. She's right. This is exactly right. And they're fucking whining and crying and bitching and moaning because they know it's true. They know it's true. They know this is the country that they want. She's saying, okay, go live in the country that you want. And now she, oh, how dare you? I'm offended. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're offended. Be fucking offended all day long. We don't care.
Be offended, bitch.
In fact, we enjoy it. We want to offend you more.
That's what I'm talking about.
Of course, Fox responding in only the way that Fox can. Nothing substantive, missing the point, attacking her looks. Let me reiterate this. All the people sitting at that fucking table attacking her looks, as I said, there's double-digit surgeries at that fucking table. There's 17 pounds of makeup gets put on one person's face when they go on Fox News. How do I know? I've been on Fox News. They cake that shit on my face too, dog. I don't want to hear shit about looks. I don't want to hear shit about looks, okay, from you assholes. So anyway, we love Jennifer Welch. We love the I've Had It podcast. They're killing it right now. And I love the fact that now she made it through on You have any idea how long I've been trying to get on Fox News where I say something that's correct but also outrageous, and then you have fucking Sean Hannity having a meltdown over some shit I've said? You know how long I've been trying to do that, and I've been unable to, because I'm out here in the internet world, and I'm a millennial, and we're given the credence and the benefit of being serious. We're always, oh please, that's like, oh, they're the edgy outsiders, ridiculous, right? But thank God, because she was a Bravo host, there's that air of legitimacy. So now when she starts her podcast, people are asking, oh, what'd she say? Maybe we could talk about this, right? She was able to break through with, I don't even know how long I've been doing the podcast for, but a year or two or whatever. But she already broke through, and she's already pissing them off. Jennifer, keep going. It's a badge of honor. If you're on Fox News every day,
let's go.
That is a badge of honor. Let them shit on you. Let them attack you. It's only going to make you stronger. What they don't understand now on the right is that now there's that Trump effect on the left too. You know how when people would attack Trump, oftentimes it only made him stronger, right? Now, the same dynamic is going to happen on the left because we fucking hate
you. Yeah, because of what I just said. Because what people really want to see is people want to see you defending their values. Like, when we talk about, like, young dudes, right? That's one of the places that the left gets wrong. As a parent that has a young man in my life, I recognize how important it is to make sure that he understands that he's supported. And you see that when you're talking about the voters. When you hear people say things like, we want health care for all. When you heard people say, even before Biden was elected, right? Like, they're like, if you're 10 toes down, if you stand on business, then you'll expand the Supreme Court. And the left's always played this game, and Jon Stewart pointed this out at one point. Jon Stewart said, the left, what they do, like at the end of Obama's administration, when he wanted to put somebody on the Supreme Court, Mitch McConnell blocked that. And Mitch McConnell said, we're not going to allow an outgoing president to put somebody on the Supreme Court. That's just not fair to Americans. And the left capitulates and goes, well, at the end of the day, if we do it, they're going to do it. And that was also what people said about expanding the Supreme Court. Well, if we do it, then, Trump or Republicans do it. And probably the best thing that could have happened to the left is to have Donald Trump become the president for the second time and show to the left that this capitulating, this saying, well, I'm not going to do these things because if we do these things, then they'll do these things. Donald Trump has shown that he doesn't give two shits, that Republicans don't give two shits. They don't care about rules. They don't care about the executive versus judicial. They don't care about Congress owning the purse strings. They don't care about anything. The only thing they care about is pushing the hateful rhetoric, enriching the rich people even further, stealing from the middle class, and making sure that in some way they make liberals cry. That's all they fucking care about. And it's been exposed by Trump being in this administration. So this is probably the best case scenario for the left. The left gets to finally realize that when people like myself, like Kyle, like the IHIP lady said on here, calling these people a bunch of fucking moralless morons, we were right the whole fucking time. These people only give two shits about two things. They want to be able to say the R word, and they want to make liberals cry. That's it. They will literally give up anything and everything rights-wise to get those things. And it's time for the left, when they get their elected candidates in office, whether it's in 2026 with the Senate and House to impeach Donald Trump, or when they get Gavin Newsom or whoever the fuck else elected into office, it is time for them to turn the tables around and shove this shit right down MAGA's throats. Because they never played by the rules before, and they're not going to play by the rules from this point out. So you might as well just play the game the way they're playing it. You might as well get up here and talk a bunch of shit and laugh at these morons, because they're good for a laugh. I mean, if there's anything about these people that you should be taking advantage of, it's fucking gold. It's comedy, all right? Like, I mean, Idiocracy did not do this timeline justice. They couldn't have predicted how dumb these fucking people could be. So the left needs to learn, just like Kyle said, that right now, if you're Jasmine Crockett, the voters love Jasmine Crockett. You know who doesn't? Schumer. People love Mom Donnie because he went in on fucking Cuomo. You know who doesn't? Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. You better wake the fuck up. You better recognize this ain't a game anymore where Republicans are going to sit here and say to the left, as long as you follow the rules, we will. They've already thrown that in the fucking trash and lit it on fire. It's time for the left to grow a pair, stand the fuck up, and look at these fucking morons and call them what they are. And that is low IQ, aggressively gullible, fried mayonnaise ball eating Cheeto tits. That's where I'm at with that.
You now. We hate you. We're disgusted by you. We think you're un-American. We think you're terrible.
Thank you.
So now whoever you decide to hone in on and attack, they're only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's not going to stop. Because what you're signaling is, these people I'm attacking, they're the best of us. We're the worst of us, and we're attacking these people, so they're the best of us. And so please, let me in on it. Take some shots at me. I'll say whatever I need to say in order to get you guys to attack me and my looks or whatever the fuck. Because that's ideal in my mind. But everybody go check out the I've Had It podcast. Jennifer Welch is awesome. They're amazing over there. And they're getting under all the right people's skin. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps.
Dude. And the thing I like seeing, too, is like that solidarity. And that's what people need to recognize, too, is, when we were talking with Pastor Benjamin on the Ben Dixon show before I went on this space, what was it, a couple weeks ago. And he's talking about solidarity. That's like the left is oftentimes too big of a tent, right? Like the diversity within the left, it tends to have, all of this like purity testing and stuff like that. And I've said it before. That's why, like, I don't believe in political parties. I believe people express values, not parties. That's why when I'm a registered independent. I probably will register. I will register as a Democrat this year to vote in the primaries to make sure that candidates that I think best exhibit the values that I believe in are voted for. So this year I will re-register as a Democrat, but I have been an independent my entire life. But you've got to recognize that you're going to have people on the left, like myself, that talk a bunch of shit. You're going to have people on the left like Adam Mockler that tend to try to reach across and want to like debate and like, have some type of bipartisanship. That's fine as long as we're talking about conservatives. We're not talking about MAGA cult members. I think Cenk, what he's doing on TYT is misguided, but at the same time, there's things that Cenk believes that I believe. And I continue to say this over and over and over again. Is that, like, if you want to really have the best possible party that you possibly can, the best effort that you can, you have to accept that not everybody in your party is going to agree with everything you believe, because that's a cult. MAGA is a fucking cult. They follow dear leader wherever he goes. They'll defend human traffickers. They'll Ghislaine, in their opinion, is not a bad person. Whatever the cult leader wants them to believe, they'll believe. The left has to get to a point where there's solidarity based off fundamental values. I've said before, I go in left-wing chats, I talk some shit in left-wing chats, and almost always there's at least one left-wing person that's like, we don't talk like that, right? You don't talk like that. That's acceptable. You don't have to talk like me. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to believe the things I say. You don't have to agree with me. None of that is important. You can push back against me. You can say I'm wrong. I'm okay with any of those things. As long as we still exist on the same fundamental value, and that is that the next generation is fucked unless we do something, that this economy that Donald Trump is driving towards a cliff is going to lead to higher prices in housing, in grocery. It's going to show tariff-induced inflation across the fucking country. The national debt is ballooning and going to get worse. All of these things are very important to future generations, because this is no longer my world. This is not for me. I'm well past a time in which this earth exists, or this country exists in a way that should placate me. Instead, the policies I vote for, the values that I have, should all be in the jest of making the life of the kids that come after me better. It should make it so that way kids can afford to buy houses. It should make it so that way kids can get out and get a career that isn't going to be sacrificed at the altar of AI. It should be putting people in place as parents, like truck drivers, taxi cab drivers, other jobs that are going to have their jobs taken from automation, being supported by things like UBI. Because if those parents can't exist, if those parents can't take care of their children, then those kids aren't going to grow up in a way where they understand and want to be a part of a productive society. Instead, they will grow up victims. They will grow up just like MAGA and believe everything is somebody else's fault, which probably at this point they would be right. You don't want a country of people that live in poverty, because it isn't good for the economy. It isn't good for the healthcare system. It isn't for good for crime. These are all things that every single person on the left should be on the same page with. And that is, if we do what's right for the next generation, then the next generation will pick up the pieces and they will make this better. But you're not going to do that by reaching across the aisle that are literally stealing wealth from underneath the fucking kids that are coming up, destroying the planet and the climate for the next generation. That's not going to do them any favors, and they're going to grow up bitter, and that's, to be honest, understandable. We should watch one more video instead of me just sitting here. Let's see. I'll play it for you, Jeremy.
I love Tesla.
The Trump ballroom video, I showed it. I already showed it. I watched it on the last show. Have you guys seen the video of Crazy Eyes Cash? Have you guys seen the video of Crazy Eyes Cash in between Carolyn Levitt and let's just play that real quick. I mean, I want to watch another video, but let's play this first. What is it? Kash Patel. Let's see if I can find this. I'm old. Googling stuff is hard. Oh, this is like fucking 8.5 minutes long. Let's see if I can find the part. Jesus Christ, that's not it. Is this it? No. I think Pirro, Janet Pirro is there too. God, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. I'll find the video. Maybe I'll post it in the Discord. It's fucking hilarious though. Kash Patel standing between Pirro and Levitt, looking about as uncomfortable as you possibly can. It's fucking amazing. Levitt. Let's try one more thing. Yeah, I think this is it, actually. No, that's just somebody tweeting about it. Oh, there it is. Here's a picture of it. I guess we can just like look at the picture of it. The picture of it is fucking amazing. Well, I'll see if I can find the video too. Dude. Dude, when Pirro walks up, he looks down at fucking Pirro and he's just like, "Oh shit, hi. Oh Christ." Let's see if I can fucking find it here. It's amazing though. Fuck. Go back to India? I don't think... Did she actually say go back to India to fucking Kash Patel? I don't think so. What is all this fucking Kash Patel should go back to India? I don't think I ever saw this. Fuck. Is this it? That's like 2.5 hours. Jesus Christ, 2 hours. All right, anyways, let's just watch another video. I'll find it later. I'll put it in the Discord. It's pretty amazing. Let's watch James Tallarico. I actually like James Tallarico. Let's see. All right, this is the video. This is from my dude Adam Mockler. Fox host quickly cuts the feed after his live backfire. This is James Tallarico on Fox News. I think he's talking about the Texas gerrymandering stuff. And this Fox News host quickly figures out he is not in the right place and cuts his shit short. So check this out.
If Republican policies are popular, why do they need to redraw these maps? Why can't they just run on their policies?
I'm getting wrapped on time. All right, this is the exact energy that we need. I want to show you the exact moment that Fox News host Will Cain cuts the show short, literally cuts the feed after getting owned on air by Texas State Representative James Tallarico.
Dude, James Tallarico is fucking based. I love this dude. I was watching videos of him giving sermons, like, I don't know, what was it, like a year and a half ago, where he talk about how disgusting MAGA Christianity is, how it has zero to do with anything to do with being Christ-like. Like, James Tallarico, I'm not a religious person. I'm a secular humanist, or close enough. Once again, I don't join gangs. I wouldn't say I'm part of secular humanism. I have beliefs that you could say are a lot like secular humanism. But when it comes to like religion, all I ever ask of people is that if you believe in Christianity, then you should be Christ-like. You should take care of homeless people. You should be accepting of homosexuals. You should love thy neighbor. Like, if you're going to be religious, I don't give two shits if you're religious, as long as the things that you do are following along in the footsteps of being a good person. That's at the end of the day. I don't care if you're Christian as long as you ain't fucking crusading on people. I don't give a shit if you're Christian as long as you're not crucifying homosexuals. I don't care if you're Christian as long as you're not a televangelist that's literally stealing money from poor people so that way you can buy a Rolls Royce. Just be like what you claim you believe you are, or what people should be. And I don't give two shits. I don't. And that's why I like James Tallarico. I think he's actually pretty fucking based.
Tallarico has been a rising star in the party for a few years now, but he's really taken the fight to Republicans ever since this Texas quorum break, and he's been going on right-wing news networks, right-wing shows, explaining the Democratic Party's view, and honestly, reviving the party. So he posted on Twitter, "I just went on Fox News to tell the truth about the redistricting power grab in Texas. I asked a simple question, quote, if Republican policies are so popular, why do they need to redraw these maps? And why not run on their policies? He refused to answer, and then he cut the interview early. I'm going to play this full clip in its entirety without cutting it. Then I'm going to play a clip of Pete Buttigieg on Fox News. Make sure you drop a like, double check to make sure you're subscribed to the Adam Mockler feed, and check this clip out.
But when you're winning in Illinois, you're happy to play by these rules.
Again, I've condemned all gerrymandering across the country. And in fact, when Democrats had a majority in Congress, they voted to ban gerrymandering in every state, red states and blue states. Do you know how many Republican members of Congress joined them in that effort?
Hold on. 0. Let me guess. 0.
Which one? I'm sorry. Which state did you just refer to?
I'm asking, do you know how many Republicans joined Democrats in the U.S. Congress to ban gerrymandering? All the Democrats voted for it. 0 Republicans voted for it. 0.
It's an odd.
So you can spare me the both sides rhetoric. It's clearly one side that is trying to rig the rules in the middle of the game. This is like two football teams coming out of the locker room.
Oh, dude, that's fucking awkward, dog. Look, I'm all for just ban gerrymandering. That's fine. Ban gerrymandering. Just let the fucking cards fall where they may. But if Texas is going to gerrymander 5 seats, then I'm all for California just turning it completely blue. Completely blue. Same thing goes for New York. Same thing goes for Illinois. Every single fucking place. If you want to play this game, that's going to end poorly for you if you're a fucking MAGA Republican. I'm 100% like I just said a minute ago, if these are the rules they want to play by, then we play by those rules. We don't have to be the bigger person. We don't have to be the adult in the room. We don't have to go high when they go low. When they go low, you kick them in the head. That's what we do. And this is the new left. This is the new left. This is the civil rights left. This is the Stonewall LGBT people. That, if you don't have that energy right now, you're fucking up. James Tallarico is going to say this in the nicest way possible, and that is, if you want to go ahead and fuck around and gerrymander 5 seats, then we will do the same, and there will be a majority in Congress for the rest of fucking time, and it will be blue.
At halftime, and the team that's ahead says they want to change the rules for the second half so they can win the game. All of us would be throwing food at the TV if that happened. We don't accept cheating in our politics. We don't accept cheating in our relationships. We shouldn't accept cheating in our elections.
You've done the same thing as us, and we are going to, by the way, if you do it, we're going to ratchet it up even more, in the words of Gavin Newsom.
My party has never gerrymandered in the middle of the decade at the request of the President of the United States, nor would we. The only way this is going to happen in blue states is if Texas executes this power grab. You mentioned Massachusetts. Do you know the party of the governor that signed that map into law? He was a Republican. It was a Republican governor that signed that map into law.
Oh, damn. Dude, just run for president already, James. Just fucking run for president already, buddy. Oh, please, just run for president.
I just want to be clear with our facts, and I don't want to muddy the waters. All of us, whether we're Democrats, Independents, or Republicans.
Dude, just can't do anything but go, yeah, okay, yeah, right, are you sure about that? Oh, God. It's like when fucking, what's his name, Bill O'Reilly learned on camera that Donald Trump was the president when Epstein died. When that dude was like, you mean under Donald Trump? And he's like, no, Biden was in office. And he's like, no, he wasn't. Trump was in office when that happened.
We should stand up to politicians who don't want to face accountability at the ballot box. That's exactly what's happening here. And I asked you, if Republican policies are popular, why do they need to redraw these maps? Why can't they just run on their policies?
I'm getting wrapped on time. I'm enjoying this conversation.
Oh, dude, he's like kryptonite to fucking Trump supporters.
I love the poorly educated.
Oh, my God. Oh, dude.
I love Tesla.
Oh, fuck.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Oh, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. This dude is fucking based. I love this guy.
I want to let it go on, and I apologize. That's such is the nature of cable television.
This happens to me all the time, too. Every single time I start to make a good point, they'll cut the feed or say we are short on time rather than allowing me to expand. And what James Tallarico said there was powerful because Republicans are trying to act like Democrats are the only ones who gerrymander across the country when we do it in response to reckless, brutal Republican gerrymandering. For example, James Tallarico says in Massachusetts, the Republican governor signed off on this map. There is a Texas district that is gerrymandered to hell, and it is a blue district. It went viral because Charlie Kirk and everyone was tweeting it, and then people pointed out this district was drawn by Republicans. It's actually gerrymandered so much so that the 8 districts around it are all Republican, and this blue district is shaped weirdly because of MAGA, because of Republicans. Let's watch Pete Buttigieg taking the fight to Fox News. In this clip, he's talking about abortion. It's just so soothing and satisfying to see this. It's cathartic.
Intelligent people.
Whether we're talking about choice and her stance on defending a woman's right to choose versus Donald Trump, who eliminated a right to choose in this country.
Well, he sent it back to the states, to be fair.
Let's be very clear. He is proud of the fact that he demolished the national right to choose in this country, period.
But there are states that are figuring this out. I mean, there are some that are, it's nearly impossible, a 6-week ban or less. But there are others, there are states in this country that allow no restrictions up until the due date of a
There
child.
was a national right to choose in this country, law of the land, for 50 years, which the vast majority of Americans believed was the right thing to do. But Donald Trump made a promise when he was a
67%.
candidate. One of the few promises he actually kept, by the way. You know, he didn't keep his promise of 6% economic growth. He didn't keep his promise to drain the swamp.
He did have a pandemic to deal with.
But even before the pandemic,
Even
before the pandemic, America went into a manufacturing recession, which really hurt places like where I come from in the industrial Midwest. But anyway,
But
my point
unemployment
is,
was
my
low.
point is, he broke his promise for that kind of economic growth. He broke his promise to pass an infrastructure bill, right? He said he
Every
would do
2
that.
weeks.
He
2
failed
weeks.
to do it. The
2 weeks,
Biden-Harris
guys.
administration got it done. He even broke his promise to that January 6th mob when he said, I will be at your side when you march down to the Capitol. But he actually did keep 2 promises. He kept his promise to destroy the right to choose in this country. And he kept his promise on tax cuts for the rich. And if you want to know what a second Trump term would be like, I would start by looking at those rare promises that he actually managed to keep.
He did say that he wanted to get rid of Roe v. Wade, but again, send it to the states where they are hashing this
empower
out
the
and
states to
have very
eliminate
different.
women's access to abortion. And also, as you know, the Republican Party continues to be interested in a national abortion
Which he's
ban.
disavowed completely.
Yeah, he's disavowed a lot of things.
Yeah, he's disavowed Project 2025 as well. And now Russell Vogt is literally deciding what's going to go in the Smithsonian. Yep. I know all about Donald Trump disavowing shit.
I don't believe him.
You
because
think
he
that
lies all the time.
You think that his
2 weeks.
Pledge that he would not pass a national ban is one that
It's one that's going to go down with most of the promises that he's made and broken.
Let's talk about this, though.
I am telling you, this is how we win. We bring the facts to Republicans. We have the better.
See, but this is my thing. This is why I think the left loses things, right? And this isn't any shade at Adam. It's that each person's like, no, this is the way to do it. And I don't think that that is the way to do it. I think that Adam's way of doing things are great for the type of people that Adam is trying to reach. And I think that Adam makes a really good, positive impact on the left by bringing in these types of people. I don't think that Adam would be in his element stepping out of this and, you know, calling people names or mocking them, making fun of them, being an asshole. I mean, that's more my job. That's more, you know, Kyle Kalinski's job. Kyle plays a couple lanes. Kyle can talk some shit, and Kyle, it brings facts. Mike from the Humanist Report, same shit. Dude can, you know, bring some facts, and he can talk some shit. I think that the left is represented by this diverse amount of people as it's supposed to be. But a lot of times the mistake that's made on the left is that they think they just have to have this one voice, that voice, you know, represents everybody. But that's not going to do it. You know, you got people on the left that are saying, you know, for sure what's going on in Palestine is not acceptable. That this just has to be fucking, you know, ended. We should have never supported him in the first place. Then you got people on the left that are like, what's going on in Palestine is not acceptable. But, you know, it was our job to give, you know, guns to our ally at the beginning, and I don't agree with anything that happened after that. And then you've got people on the left that are like, well, hold on, I'm Jewish, and, you know, I support Israel, but maybe I don't support fucking what's going on in Gaza. Like, you're never going to get every single person to agree on every single nuance of every, you know, complicated subject. So you don't need one person that expresses all those values. You need a group of people that all agree on the fundamental values that, you know, destroying, you know, human life, innocent children, innocent women and men in Gaza is against left-wing values, you know, period. Getting healthcare for everybody, you know, is one of the main, you know, foundations of what we want to see on the left. So how we go about getting it isn't as important as getting it, right? So you can have this diversity of thought. I just think that what Adam is saying is right for certain people, but I also agree that what Kyle Kalinski said in the last video was also right, that the left needs a backbone, and the left needs to talk some shit, and the left needs to be more like the IHIP ladies.
Ideas on our side. We want to redistribute wealth to help people have safety nets. We don't want to make billionaires' lives a living hell. Not most of them,
exactly.
maybe Elon Musk. But we don't want to like I don't want to string up billionaires across the streets. I just want to redistribute things.
Yeah, see, Adam doesn't want to string up billionaires across the streets, but there's some people on the left that do, and you know what? I ain't hating. I'm just saying, we want to have different plans, different strokes for different folks.
So that people have a more safe, healthy, happy life. We can still have people who excel and create things and compete and create businesses.
That's funny, Mom.
But there maybe should be a point where you can't just accumulate all of this wealth while people at the very bottom are suffering. There needs to be some...
Yeah, as I've said before, I don't think that being a billionaire should be illegal. I think it should be immoral. And I think that we should put boundaries on that through taxes, just like we did during the New Deal phase. When the middle class was the strongest was when corporate robber barons were being taxed the most. That is, there is 100% correlation and causation there. When people are doing what they're doing right now, ultra wealthy, this has been a war against the middle class for over 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 50, 60 years since the New Deal. You don't get out of this without taxing the rich, period.
Sort of social safety nets. The point is, we can go on TV, we can make these arguments for equality, for minority rights, for all of these things in an aggressive, confident way with a bunch of conviction. That's what we're trying to do on the Adam Mockler channel. I mean, I go on a lot of these right-wing shows, we do debates, and I use James Tallarico or Pete Buttigieg as the model. I grew up in a red state, as both of them did, so communication is very key. Going on to these spaces is important because look how quickly they self-destruct. Look how easily they melt down. These people are absolute ghouls. I'm talking about the Fox News MAGA hosts who will lie through their teeth and then cut the segment off when they're getting fact-checked. These people are absolute ghouls who are eroding the very foundations of our democracy just so they can lie for a quick check. We are going to continue to relentlessly fact-check them. I'm going to make sure that I'm going on right-wing news stations. I'm pushing back. I'm debunking the lies, and you guys give me the ability to do that. We honestly run a bigger channel and bigger operation than some right-wing titans, former titans. Like Tucker Carlson is trying to do the digital media stuff, and we beat him. The Adam Mockler show literally beats Tucker Carlson on the charts. So thank you all. I appreciate everything.
Dude, I love Adam Mockler, so go subscribe to that man's channel. Like I said, different strokes for different folks. I'm super happy that he exists in his lane and does what he does. I'm always appreciative of Adam. I do something differently, whether or not, we'll ever be in the same lane, that's a whole nother question, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary for me to be in the same lane as Adam Mockler. We have the same ideas. We have the same fundamental values. We're working towards the same goal, and that's all that matters. So I support Adam Mockler because of that. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. I know you guys, thank you for dealing with the troll. I know, I like to fuck with the trolls, so I appreciate all of you guys. I know sometimes people get, upset that they have to deal with the trolls too. But I like talking shit to them. I think it's important. I think people should see the way that these people act. I think that, when a guy like Panic comes in and continues to conflate the files with the Jeffrey Epstein grand jury indictments and literally is just going to fucking, continue to argue in a closed loop that doesn't make any sense, that's good. That's what it should be. That's why I like seeing these people in the fucking comments making the dumb shit arguments that you do. You've got to let people see who these people are. You've got to let them expose themselves. It's the best way to see it. It's the best way to show to people out there that might be on the fence that this is who it is. And I get it. I know, mods. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys. Fire of Alarm. Thank you, Silent. I know you guys deal with shit. I know you guys deal with a lot of shit on my part. I know you guys follow my rules. I know you guys do everything you can to tolerate these fucks. So I just wanted to say thank you. I fucking appreciate the shit out of you. 5 Alarm, I appreciate you. Manic, Silent, everybody, I appreciate you guys. I truly do. I know you guys deal with a lot of shit at my behest, so that way I can talk shit to trolls. So I love you guys so much for that. Thank you guys. I appreciate all of you guys as always. Next show will be tomorrow, 5 p.m. on this space, but you can also catch me on this channel as well. And you know, I hope you guys are here for it. I hope you guys watch and enjoy, and don't forget to catch Pastor Benjamin before me. And then also the Visora, who is down, I think is what you say, down in Australia. Also, that follows my show on this space afterwards, who is really fucking dope. I really am glad to be part of these three shows, being Pastor Benjamin, myself, and Visora. It's been great working over there, and I enjoy the time. So, thanks, guys. Don't forget.
Yeah, you effing with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word.
And remember, when I say panic, I mean...
P-word. P-word is female genitalia.
He's a pussy. Love you guys.
Who explained sexual harassment to you and me?
Yeah, I'll check your DM. 5 alarm. Thank you. Have a good night.